Yo.
Welcome to another episode of Good Dad, Bad Son with your favorite cousins. Kurt just hopped in, perfect timing. How y'all been doing?
I'm good.
What up, though?
It took us some doing to get here today, didn't it?
Hey, don't gaslight me about being late sometimes.
Nah, shit, I was late too, Kurt. I'm the one that's really late.
4 minutes.
It's hard to move around Atlanta on a Friday, baby.
Man, them people had me out there for 3 hours, man, 4 hours, man.
Hard to move around.
Stupid niggas, man.
Serious, because all of the houses.
I swear, man. Word up. This nigga talking about he told me go around the corner and get in door 10. I'm like, no, you didn't, man.
And you just sitting there
on the street for 2 hours. I end up emailing the broker like, yo, man, I'm about to leave, man. I've been here since 2:30. It's 4:30. I'm about to leave, bro. I really want to leave anyway. Word up. I'm about to leave. Oh, hold on. We going to get in contact with somebody at the shipper right now. Then that's when he came out. Hey, man, we waiting on you. I told you go around, make 2 lefts and go on there. Man, you ain't tell me nothing.
None of that.
What you talking about? Shorty said she was going to call me when y'all get the door open. Like, oh, no, she just filling in. She don't know what she talking about. All right, you ain't say nothing. You was all smiles and giggles with Shorty, man.
Right. That's why I'm sitting out here. Y'all back there playing.
And then the drink all the way around the other block. I'd have went back in the office. What's the deal though?
Man, same old.
Yo, what you was talking about when you was I saw that text late.
Man, them folks playing with my application. The colleges and universities got this program I'm trying to start, and it's 100% online. But when I submit mine, they want them to come in, do lab, have an externship. I'm like, that ain't what everybody else doing. So why mine got to be different? Y'all cutting into the money, right? They just build a program and let it fly online, but mine got to be in person and do all this old extra stuff. They done sent it back twice, so playing their game.
So what you gonna have to do? What you got to do?
Just say just stroke their ego, say I'm gonna do it their way, still do it, but do the same everybody else doing. I'm tripping. Because I'm trying to get a different audience. All right, like CNA, even though that's my bread and butter and shit probably saved my life, it's a certain stigma around it. It's only a certain people that want to do that. So now that I'm trying to branch out and get another audience, they like, whoa, nigga, stay in your lane.
That's the oppression Kurt and Nadia be talking about, but you just gotta find a way through it.
Just paperwork.
Yeah.
This African lady I used to work for, who I used to teach for, she looked me dead in my face before I even thought about getting to school. She said, "You gotta have you a white person. You gotta have you a white face around." I said, "This is bananas."
You ain't got one?
Nope.
You don't believe in DEI.
The African Americans we the only
reverse.
one got to be diverse.
Reverse DEI.
You go to the Mexican, they hire all Mexicans. You go to the Chinese joint, they hire all Chinese. We got to be diverse when we hire though.
We care about everybody else but ourselves. We care about everybody else.
These folks playing around.
What you got, Kurt? What's the word?
What's up, bro? Yeah, did you see what I was saying about that lady had to pay 20%, 25%?
Nah, I could really hardly hear you, for real. Your phone is kind of muffled. Must be laying on something.
So, can you hear me now better?
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that my microphone is on the other side. Did you look at that clip about city ordinances taking 25% of people's money payout from their insurance?
Nah, I forgot about it, bro. I forgot about it.
Well,
Let's watch it. Let's watch it now, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
The rest will come to you. I'm livid.
A St. Louis storm victim at her wit's end tonight. She tells a quarter of the insurance payout to repair her damaged property by a tornado will go to the city. This is First Alert 4 at 10. I'm Samantha Jones.
And I'm Corey Stark. So the issue stems from a St. Louis City ordinance that's under the microscope tonight. Morgan Harris reports on the confusion creating more stress amid storm recovery. Morgan?
Sam, I met Cheryl Walker today in the Ville. She's upset after finding out a decades-old city ordinance forces her insurance company to give 25% of her payout to the city of St. Louis. I spoke to Mayor Spencer on the phone within the past hour to get answers for you about where this money is going.
Give me my money. It's not yours. It's not yours.
Cheryl Walker says she is waiting on her full insurance payout after a tornado hit St. Louis May 16th.
The tenant that lives here called me and told me it's bad, Miss Walker. And I said, well, my husband's going to get down there to see about you. She said, oh, ma'am, he can't get through. He can't get to me. I get so emotional because it hurt me that can't nobody get to you. What?
Walker owns a property in the Ville. She and her husband moved their tenant to a hotel while they assess the damage. The house needs multiple repairs throughout.
I've never had a claim. I've owned this since 2006. I've always paid my premiums. This was new for me.
According to Walker, her insurance adjuster began walking her through the process.
He says if the city tells you that's condemned, you may have to tear that down. And now we're waiting in the city. It did not. They gave us yellow, so I was so excited to tell her we can rebuild it.
But her excitement soon turned to frustration when it was time for her insurance company to process her payout.
The adjuster says to me, ma'am, you're not going to get all of it because there's an ordinance in your city that says we have to give them 25%. And I said, that's not fair. I need all my money. And he says, I have to abide by the laws of your city.
According to a Missouri statute pertaining to repairing structures, if there are proceeds of any insurance policy based upon a covered claim payment for damage or loss to a building or other structure after a fire, explosion, or other casualty lost, the insurer shall withhold up to 25% of the covered claim payment and shall pay such monies to the city.
Once the insurance company is told they have to send the 25% to the city, there's no choice. It's what's required.
Insurance agent Ed Fogelbach says this can be a difficult conversation for agents and adjusters to have with clients.
Can I please have my 25%? Can I please have it back? Because I'm out of money for taking care of my tenant. I didn't want her to suffer.
Mayor Kara Spencer says in part in a statement, we are actively working on finding a way to suspend this ordinance, make an exception for natural disasters like this, or find some other solution quickly to make sure property owners who have already lost so much do not have to see any of their insurance payouts held in escrow when it's direly needed for rebuilding. Walker wants the city to do away with the ordinance altogether, but especially for victims of the tornado.
I would like to say to the city of St. Louis and the alder people that if I have to fix or demolish mine, you need to fix or demolish yours. All these schools we've been living with, they're yours, but you don't have to demolish them or fix them. You just let them sit there derelict in our neighborhoods.
Mayor Spencer went on to...
That's some slick shit there they on.
Boy. I don't know. What
City need their cut.
That was St. Louis?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not fair.
They been had that in play though, huh?
Years ago.
Yeah, but that's their way of
What is it called? What is it called, Kurt?
it's an ordinance.
City ordinance?
Yeah, like some cities have ordinance where you can't cross across the street, or they'll give you a ticket for jaywalk. You know what I'm saying?
So what are they paying? They're paying FEMA?
No, the insurance company, when the damages are assessed to your property, like property you have there, and the justice come out and say it's going to cost this much to fix it, then the insurance company that you've been paying for your homeowners give you the funds to fix your house.
Oh, it says St. Louis City working to suspend the ordinance that holds part of insurance claims from tornado.
Yeah, but in the meantime, them people need to fix their houses now.
They say they working to suspend the ordinance. That was of May 28th.
Why would it even be there? Why you take 25% of?
We have to give them 25%, and that's crazy. So they just giving it to the city?
Yeah.
Any payout. It
What
say
they
up to
doing is they
25%, but
hindering
Yeah, 20.
they hindering the black folk in that neighborhood uh the a way of accumulating, wealth accumulation. Because when you own your house, it appreciates in value, you keep your property up and so forth and so on. But that's one way we gonna take 25% of your cut. So you're the one that has to pay the insurance claim. That doesn't make sense. But that's how they have it structured.
I'm trying to say who. I'm trying to see who started that. I bet it was a Democrat.
Whoever started it, it doesn't matter. It's still, like I say, this is not about, uh, who did it because, it's bad in both parties, in Democrats, Republicans, Independents. There's some fucked up shit about all of them. But it always seems to be taken from those people they could least afford to and putting it in their pockets. That's how they become wealthy. You know, it's crazy.
you see when it was started, B?
Nah, I can't find it. St. Louis passed tornado tax relief as residents face problems. They saying they about to give y'all
Out of
some.
all, like when they send FEMA, normally it's a big organization that comes, right? They send St. Louis 48 people to handle all them thousands of homes. You know how long it's going to take them to get to each individual home that was damaged? That's crazy. But our senator, who is a Republican, come up, well, I'm trying to talk to the president, and we're going to try to get FEMA down here. So they sent 28 people to a more democratic geographic area, because most of the blacks over there are Democrats, for real, for real. But FEMA was over there where the rich folks were. They was fixing their house the same day. Blacks, they got an ordinance that they take 25% of your money.
Oh, but look, it says the order of ordinance shall apply only to a covered claim payment which is in excess of 50% of the face value of the policy covering a building or other structure. So they saying y'all getting too much money. They don't want y'all to get too much money. If something
Why
happens to
you
y'all,
don't get
y'all,
too much?
y'all property,
Why
they don't
you
want y'all
don't
to
get
get too
too
much
much
money
money
now.
for your own property though? You're the one that paid the bill. That's like insurance companies say you in a truck accident, but you got to pay the city 25% of the money it's going to take to fix your truck.
I mean, what you gonna do about it?
Nothing. I mean,
Gotta
nothing
get
you can do about it
politically
but
honest.
complain.
Get them goddamn them Republicans out of office,
Move out of St. Louis. I thought you
or
said
get those
it ain't
what
about
move
Democrat
to
and
another
Republican.
Republican state. See, it's about now. It's about politics. You
What's up,
know,
y'all? What's up, Noah? What's up, Nadia?
How y'all doing? I'm
What's up? Why you sound like that? Why you sound like that, Noah? Noah had a long day.
what I sound like.
Sound like
Tired.
you sick of this shit already.
Tired.
No, I'm sick.
we took a break, Noah, to get him. Let's get him. We got them outnumbered this time.
So shit, let's get right to it. We're gonna talk about Dr. Jamal Bryant protest, Target,
Uh huh.
and holds a memorial service for 50th anniversary of George Floyd. Racism in the WNBA. Trump is upset with Putin's attacks on Ukraine, of course. Trump pardons NBA YoungBoy and Larry Hoover. Letitia James indicted. Mortgage fraud, the same thing she was going after Trump about.
The same thing he was convicted for.
The same thing she was going after Trump about.
How about that?
And is oppression good for the black race? So shit, let's get right to it. Trump pardons NBA YoungBoy and Larry Hoover and a couple of other people too.
He did not
The
pardon
Grizzlies.
those people.
Yeah.
He didn't pardon who?
Okay, he commuted it, right? Okay,
Right.
whatever it is, the man is not in Colorado ADX. So I don't care about the title of what he done. The man is out that cell.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
He's
saying?
still in jail.
Underground prison. He's out of there. You know what I mean?
He's
Whatever he did.
But they sent him to state prison. State prison is a lot worse than federal prison.
Yeah, but I don't. What's your point?
Okay, all the other people that he pardoned are free, walking around in society. Hoover is still locked up. So that was just his nigger tokenism. Because that man ain't free.
He can't control. He can't partner them on the state level. That's a whole separate court.
And he knew that.
He owed them folks 200 years.
But see, he knew that. So the pardon, the commuting of the sentences on the federal, the black man is still in jail, but the white man is free.
Hey, why everything got to be a black and white issue? I don't
The
understand.
same reason why it got to be a Democrat Republican issue.
I just be playing most of the time, but look.
Oh, darn, now,
the people,
now he want to say he playing.
The people that, okay, you want to say the white people that Trump pardoned, they went home. They didn't have state charges. They didn't have state charges, Kurt. You know how the system works. If you have state charges and Fed charges, just because the feds let you go, the state still can pick you up. If you have state charges and Fed charges, just because the state let you go, the feds can pick you up. That's how it works. It's not about black and white. The man didn't have to do it at all.
He did the same thing for Hoover, making it sound kind of like he got a black friend or that he's not racist. That ain't what that means. The whole propaganda behind that whole program is the fact that, yes, he commuted the man's sentence, but the man gonna stay in jail. The rest of the people that he brought, those people that have charges, like the insurrectionists, they were released from prison.
They only have federal charges, Kurt. Which part you missing?
The fact that the whole thought was this. You said, oh, he pardoned Hoover them. No, he making people think by using propaganda, oh, well, I pardon Hoover too. You know.
He don't, Kurt, he doesn't have any federal charges. He is cleared, free and cleared from the feds. What are you complaining about?
He still got to spend the rest of his life in jail.
You don't know that for sure, and that don't have nothing to do with Trump. So what's the propaganda?
That's Illinois. He got to take
That's
that
the
up
state of Illinois. You're Democratic black folk. You got a black Democratic mayor down there. You got a Democratic governor down there. They should be able to free the man.
Why does it have to be Democrat or Republican?
Nah, cause what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna all that black, white, and Democrat, Republican. Y'all like to use it, and then you hating on Trump. I'm gonna put it right back in your. Kurt, you asked me a question, man. I'm gonna sit here and wait, let y'all, cause y'all keep saying I cut y'all off. Today we gonna see who cut who off, cause I ain't gonna say nothing when y'all talking. I'm gonna wait.
Yeah. And we're gonna count and see how long you talk as opposed to.
But what I was saying is, what the state what he has to do with the state don't got nothing to do with Trump. He's in the state. Y'all got a Democratic governor down there, a Democratic mayor down there. Get him up out of there. Stop worrying about Trump. Stop worrying about Trump. You still, this man got him out the Colorado joint under the ground. They got a TV in there, a camera in there that watching you. Everything is brought to your cell, shower, everything. They don't do nothing. They don't interact. Ain't no general population. When they go to the yard, they go by themselves. This man was in there how many years? 30-something years?
30 plus.
With the Unabomber and El Chapo in them and all that? Nah, man, that's huge, man. Get that man up out of there, man. Ain't nobody else do it. Obama ain't do it. Biden ain't do it. Ain't nobody else did it. And he don't have to do it because guess what? Y'all don't vote for Trump. Trump don't got to appease the black people. What are we talking about? He don't got to appease y'all. Y'all hate him. He knows that. You think he don't see everything on TV? Y'all think he really think y'all care about him? He don't got to do nothing for y'all. Y'all don't vote for him. What you think, Noah?
I don't know. I don't think the president doesn't owe anybody anything. Like obviously that the pardons are not his is not his duty to pardon everyone. But if he's disproportionately pardoning certain people, then I think it's a concern. You can't just the extra benefit for
What
nobody.
you on your phone?
What?
Your phone, it keep going in and out, right? Or is that me? It keep going. It go out like every 3 seconds. It go out every 4 words. It go out.
Laptop. Let me switch to my
You gotta
laptop.
get your laptop back, man.
I'll be back.
We want Noah with the laptop, man.
Damn. I'll be back.
Give me Noah with the laptop back.
No, I don't think it was no agenda behind him letting Hoover.
There you go. There you go. There you go. The mystery man. Yo, what up, man?
That's all y'all get. Y'all get some money.
What you think, Nadia?
I really honestly don't know. I have mixed feelings, to be honest. Like, I think it's some ways beneficial. I think that the part overall is an abuse of a power that I don't necessarily think that so many. And there's some cases where I feel they deserve to sit with in person you're talking about specifically people that do not deserve pardon that using the power that he had.
Okay. You got some comments, Will?
Vance said Hoover is the last descendant of the Black Panther movement. I don't think he's getting out of jail. He also said the governor could pardon him, but I don't know if he'll do that. Mama Love said peace and love, family. Tyler believes that Hoover is a political prisoner.
I think they're gonna let him out. I think they're gonna let him out. Cause it's too much pressure on them. It's too much pressure on them to look like the bad guys in the eyes of black people, especially Chicago. Chicago love Larry Hoover. That's King Larry, man. You know what I'm saying? Chicago loves Larry Hoover. So in the eyes of Chicago, if they don't let Larry out after Trump did it, they gonna sway. They gonna start swaying. They already swayed towards Trump anyway, but they gonna sway towards Trump, man.
This is a bigger argument. While I do agree, you know,
Nadia, your phone, your joint going in and out a little too.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Perfect.
I was saying, while I do think sometimes pardoning can be beneficial for some people who like have been wrongfully convicted, I think it sets a bad precedent, low key, because I feel like if someone is truly convicted of something and they've done wrong, I feel like they should be held to the standard of paying the time, regardless of if they're black or white or whatever color in between.
I ain't mad at that.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that. I'm gonna keep it real. I ain't mad at that.
But I don't think Trump has no agenda. Like you said, he ain't trying to get the black vote. He ain't trying to appease the black audience. He gets nothing from this.
Nothing.
He don't sleep no better or no worse.
He just does what he wants to do. But I think, though, also, too, something you brought up, BJ, that was really interesting to me is, like, you know, the agenda of he doesn't have to do anything for black people, and we know how we feel about him. I think that's really, truly, though, not a fair statement in consideration that the president is supposed to serve the people. Like, it's supposed to be a representation of the people. And so it's, I mean, obviously, that's not what it's always held to in this climate anymore, but that is what it's supposed to be. And so when we're talking about situations like this, we do have to attest to the fact that our president is supposed to be a solid representation of what the people want and what the people believe in. So that's also something to bring into the conversation as well.
Okay, so in that same regards, my bad, Will, go ahead.
No, him releasing Mr. Hoover ain't doing nothing for us as a people or as a community.
Right.
Just a headline for the week. We talking about it, so he did his job.
Yeah, but in the same regards of if you're saying the president is supposed to be for the people, Where was Obama? When was Obama for the people for 8 years?
I don't think it depends on what type of people you are. Because I would say he's done a lot of good things. We're talking about Obamacare. We're talking about even like again, you don't agree with it, so I can't necessarily say for you, but for me personally, liberating people of the LGBT community and giving them the right to marriage, I think is something that they
Liberating
deserve
them
to
from
have.
liberating them from what?
They couldn't get married.
To be able to have marriage, like they weren't able to
So
legally be married until he got in, until he corrected that or made that a thing.
so
But I mean, he's done a good bit of things, and I can attest to that. I think that Obama, not only that, him being in office and being the image of the first black president of the United States of America is doing something for our community. If you ask me, it's representation at the very least.
yeah, I don't agree with that because Obama ain't come from the black community. They ain't what represent. I think no. Obama ain't Obama from Kansas. Wasn't he raised with his mama, his white mother, and his white grandmother and them and grandfather?
Hawaii.
You don't even
Okay,
know who
so
his
just
father
because
is.
you're raised, but just because you're raised by white people or surrounded by a white community makes you less black?
Yes,
I don't agree.
definitely.
I don't
Yes,
agree. It might change your perception
yes,
or your
for sure.
experiences, but that doesn't necessarily make you
For
less
sure,
black.
yes, because you don't go through the same trials and tribulations as someone raised in a black community with black parents.
I
Total night
mean,
and day.
well, no, you're still treated as a black man. If you look, if it's a duck, it quacks like a duck. It's a duck. I mean, at the end of the day, you're still treated in society the same way any other black person is going to be treated. And you can see that the way he was crucified under the scrutiny when he was president. He was treated like a black man at the end of the day,
If he was
regardless of
treated,
how he was raised.
if he was treated like a real black man, he would have never became president.
I don't
They'll
think that.
never let a real black man become president. Never.
I
He
think
was
that's a
he
crazy
was
statement
already
to say he's
selected
not a
before he was
real black
elected.
man. That is
He
a
was
real
he
black
was
man.
he was already selected before he was elected. That's a fact. He was already in New Orleans during Hurricane Katrina running around with Bill Clinton and George Bush. He already was done that. He already was down there when he got ran out of Chicago. When the ex-Black Panther beat him, Bobby Rush? One of the ex-Black Panthers beat him in the last joint in Chicago. They got Obama up out of there. Show me another example of a senator who lost running around with presidents and ex-presidents and then become a president. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing on that. You know, he was selected before he was elected for sure. And then for him to get up there and say the same thing. Okay, so let me ask you this. Kurt, you're a black man. You're a black man. What you think about reparations? Do you think we should get reparations? Yes or no?
Yeah.
What about you, Will?
Nah, I ain't with it.
This
What
is
you
why we'll
think?
never go nowhere.
I know why
This
you
is
saying
why.
that because I said that also. But do you think if you had the power to give the black race reparations, yes or no?
Hold on, let me see. I'm sorry, there's a comment. Going through the struggles of life does
For
not
you,
make you
Will.
black. I
Oh,
agree with
if
Nadia.
I had the
Thank you.
power to do it,
Yeah. If you had the power of a stroke of a pen, say, all right, my people, whether it don't even have to be money, it could be land or anything. To the foundational black American.
Are you?
no,
Oh,
I would. I would put my efforts into something else. I would do something for us, but I don't think just giving money to the issue it'll make
So
a bad situation worse.
what would you do? That's why I said it ain't got to be money. What would you do?
I think I would probably start with land.
Okay, that's a form of reparations.
Okay.
yeah.
So we got two black men. Me third would say, black men in the chat, are you for or against reparations? The reason why I asked that, I'm asking black men because Obama, the black man, was against reparations. He said no.
Right. Right. I don't think that he
He was
represents
against it.
all black people. Like, let me state this, right?
He was against giving the money, right? He wasn't against all.
Right.
It never even got that far. I just know he was against reparations.
So first off, let me
Go
say
ahead,
this.
Nadia.
This is the craziest part about it, and I'm sorry for cutting you off. That's my bad.
That's one. That's one.
Say that.
Nadia cut me off,
That's me.
Kurt. That's one.
I'll take.
Kurt, keep score.
That's me. I'll take it. No, but the reality of the situation is, you act like there isn't this political climate in which you have to do things a certain way in order to even get to the level of position that he's in. I hope you know that any politician and anybody watching in the chat has to make a sacrifices of some moral integrity at some point about what they want and what they don't want, because that's the only way you get political power. You have to give in to some things that you may agree with or align with. I don't think the world is ready to hear black people say that they want reparations. I genuinely don't, as a collective. And I don't think that if he ran on that policy alone, that people would have supported that. I don't think that would have kept him in office. At the end of the day, there's a lot of things that politicians want but may not push for because that doesn't follow the agenda of what it would be for the overall well-being, I guess, of the United States or the people. And that's just the reality of the situation. But outside of that too, just because he disagrees with he's one person or one black person that disagrees with reparation doesn't mean that that speaks for us entirely as a whole. Yes, he is the president of the United States, or he was. That doesn't mean that we all have the same brain and think the same way. And I think reparations are a benefit because it will change the socioeconomic gap that we see amongst African American communities and other races. 100%. Even though we're trying to make up for it and we're doing somewhat of a better job, having land and having access to more financial resources will get us in more opportunities that we haven't had before. So to sit there and be like, oh, we shouldn't have them, that's just shooting ourselves in the foot.
But
Because
we
we
not
already
broke.
been
We not
behind.
broke now. We just got horrible behaviors. If we just
I
start
don't
shelling
think
our
we're
money,
broke.
we not
But why
broke.
don't we deserve to? My whole thing is, maybe not myself, but my great great grandmother did labor, right? That she never got paid for.
Right.
Why can't I inherit the benefits of what that was supposed to be? White
You
people have
should.
done that for generations and generations of time. They've inherited their benefits of being slave owners and slave masters and even being sharecroppers, owning fields. They have gotten the money, accumulated it, made businesses, and monopolized off of certain industries, right? The only way we can combat that is if we have some more financial power to do more things. And we do have money and we do have bad habits with money, and that's on being accountable. But even if we are more accountable, that doesn't change the gap that we see right now. Only reparations would really make a big impact of what we're seeing.
All right, so no, he didn't run on it. Nobody was talking about telling for him to run on it. He was already president when he spoke on it. He spoke on it. So
Right, but
for a black man, Nadia, I just let you go like 10 minutes. For
go
a
for
black
it.
man to sit up there as the president and just shut down reparations, I mean, what kind of black man could that be? Let's keep it real. You just said it will change the gap between black and white. It will help. You know what I'm saying? So if you really cared, if he was such this black man, why would he be against that?
There's a lot of things that sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Nah, I forgot. I really forgot. I had a
There's a lot
couple
of
of things.
things you don't
I didn't
agree
want to
with
cut
as
you
a
off, but I had a lot of things to
okay.
say to what you were saying. Go ahead.
No, there's a lot
And
of
then we're
things
gonna
that
move on to the next topic.
you don't agree with as a black man that I don't think that will get us further. But that doesn't make you any less black. That
Like what?
doesn't
Name
mean
name one.
like I don't necessarily agree with your ideas or prerogative when it comes to the pro life. I don't agree with that. And I don't agree with that not because of the killing babies aspect.
Say that one more time.
I don't agree with your stance on pro life and how that affects
And you
us.
don't agree with my you so you're
I
making this
don't.
statement saying that
Yeah.
my stance on pro life is not beneficial to the black race?
Yeah, I don't think so. I
Somebody,
have my own reasons for that.
keep going, keep going. I need somebody to
No,
help me.
it's a very simple thing. If we know that African American communities suffer when it comes to socioeconomic status, having more babies without having more education and better opportunities for them doesn't really make sense. In fact, it'll probably progressively keep us at the same level or lower or decline our levels. Having more babies does not solve the issue that we're seeing. What we
So
should be
I'm
doing
supposed
is
to. So as a black man, understanding that our population, we're probably at the lowest, right?
no,
Are the Mexicans beating us? We're only
no.
13. We're only 13% of the population in America.
Mhm.
Me knowing this as a black man, me saying don't kill the black baby is going against my race.
No, you
Is
not
is
giving
is
women a
hurt is hurting my race.
no, not giving black women an option and choice over their body autonomy is hurting overall because that's a different conversation. If you know also too in the medical health field that black women are less likely to be I guess treated well or accommodated and considered and their life is at risk when it comes to pregnancies, giving women the choice or allowing them to have a choice. I'm not pro killing babies. I am pro women having the option to say if they want one or not. And you're against that when you're just saying, I opt out and every
I'm
woman should
only
have a choice.
against killing babies. I don't know what you're saying I'm against, but let me make that clear. I'm against abortion, especially for the black woman, because the black women have the highest abortion rate, and I'm pro-black. I am anti-abortion.
Well,
Go
actually,
ahead.
let's go Google that. I don't even think that's
Can I
true.
say something? Black women also have the highest mortality rate when it comes to having children.
You might be freestyling, Kurt. I don't know. We have to look that up.
No, that's
Okay,
true.
If they not number
I
one,
don't know.
they top three for
Do
sure.
do 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 you?
They high up
Shit,
there.
it's only 3 races in this motherfucker.
we got
They
the
top
highest
3 is only 3. That's really, you know what I'm saying? It's
and we
white,
got the
black, and then
highest
what else?
mortality
Mexican?
rate when it comes to women, black women bearing children.
Hold on, Kurt. You said they have the highest rate of mortality during birth. That's what you said. Let's
Yeah.
stay there. Can someone look that up? Someone in the chat. Let's go through some of the comments.
I'm about to look it up right now.
Nah, you looking up black women having the highest abortion rate, right?
No,
No.
well, I could look that up too. I was looking up
That's what I thought
mortality.
you was looking up.
No.
We can go through some comments, Will.
Well, Van was saying there ain't enough money to give black folks, and there's not enough land to give. Talking about reparations.
I don't necessarily buy that.
He says North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Colorado, Utah, Montana, Idaho, and are all Native American and Mormon states. Black people will not go there.
They won't or they can't. I feel like that could happen. I genuinely do. I feel like it's about what you make of
Those
the
are the only
situation.
states the government would even consider giving black people land.
Well, that's fine. We've made black cities
Yeah, it don't
before. We
matter.
can
I
do
would
it
go
again.
if the government gave me 10 acres and a John Deere, I would move to Wyoming.
You
bro.
out there?
And I just watched the black family. There's a black family that own like 100 acres out there doing good, living off the land and all that, chilling. Chilling. I would do that. Who else?
I can see you now with your growth farm
Nah,
in
what's something we
Wyoming.
missed, bro?
Casey said good conversation.
No, I
We gotta
think
go up to Tyler, back to Tyler.
Where Tyler at?
Chazi, Maine.
I had put Chauncey. I put hers
Oh,
up
I
there
didn't
already.
read it from you. I didn't see
I
it.
got you.
My bad. No.
Cha-
Out and Bert joint too.
Going through the struggles of life does not make you black. She agrees with Nadia. That's when Nadia was up there doing her happy dance.
Going through the struggles of being, but what?
My
Going through the
question to
struggles
DJ
well, you
is
can't.
what
life does not make you
my
black.
question to DJ is what is black
If you
enough?
live in a black community, if you're black and you live in a black community with black parents, I don't understand.
But what
Well,
what
what do
if
you
you got,
mean?
wait,
how
what
that
if you
doesn't make you black? How that doesn't
But
make you black?
your experiences alone don't just make you black. It is a part of your phenotype as well. That is how you're socially seen. When someone looks at you on the street, they're gonna be like, I depict a black man.
How someone looks at you don't make you black.
It does make your experience black, yes. Because
No,
you're treated as
that's
such.
wrong. That's wrong.
That's
Because a
not right.
black,
That's called street race.
because
Literally.
you have black men, you have black people in the South that is pro Confederate, pro slavery, and all that. You have black. So the black soldiers that fought on the Confederate side against the Union, you consider them black?
Yes,
It's
they're
a
black
mentality.
people that have been brainwashed. They're black people who
So
fight for
so
the wrong
how can you
thing.
consider?
They're still black.
Oh yeah, nah, I ain't, nah. Okay.
Okay, my question is, what is black enough?
What happened?
What's black enough?
People say Drake ain't black enough because he you know what?
I'm not talking about genetics. I'm not talking about skin color. See, y'all stuck on genetics and skin color. I'm strictly talking about spirit and mind. Spirit and mind is what counts. Spirit and mind. That's what counts.
I don't think so.
It's probably white
if
people that's out here
counts,
more
then
black than black people. It's probably white
I
people
can't
out here
agree
that
with
did
that.
more
I'm
for the
so
black
sorry.
race than a black person has. I'm sure of it.
I'm
I
sure
wouldn't say
that
they
too,
black.
but it doesn't make them black.
I wouldn't say they black, but if it came to choosing, I'm gonna choose them over somebody's skin color just because they black. Straight up, y'all. That's why Obama was able to be president for 8 years, and that's why y'all was backing Kamala because of skin color. That's it. Because of skin color.
No, but
That's it. There's nothing else there.
I voted for Kamala Harris because of her credentials, where
Because of
Trump
what?
had none. Trump has no credentials.
Because of what, Kurt?
Huh?
You voted for Kamala because of what?
Because of her credentials.
Well, like what? Give me one.
She's dealt with all kind of policies. You know, they say, oh, she put black people in jail. No, she just prosecuted those people who the police put in jail. She did her job as a prosecutor. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't make no difference whether it was a white man or a black man. When they put evidence in her face, she did her job. Okay, there's a lot of things I don't agree with that she has done. You know what I'm saying? But as a prosecutor, your job is to prosecute the people that the police lock up and present you with the evidence. That's her job. You know what I'm saying? She has had experience in government basically her whole career since she was 19 and working as an intern in the mayor's office. Trump has only had experience as a political figure as far as his college that failed, that he took all them people's money, his hotels that failed, that he took all them people's money, and a whole bunch of other business that he invested in, including his game show that was a failure. He has no credentials as a political president for all of the people, not just for Republicans or Democrats, as a president. That's all. You know,
all them
I'm
people
not
who got the
voting because of the
political
color of her skin.
resume, what have they done for you, Kurt? What have they done for any of us?
That's the comment?
What has any one of them did for any of us?
But you saying he don't have no political background, like the people who do got the background has been doing anything for anybody but themselves.
But what I'm saying
and their
is,
friends.
if
and their
I'm gonna vote for somebody to run this country, I'm gonna vote for somebody that has credentials. It's just like, would I put a person in DJ's truck that has no experience driving the truck as opposed to a person that got a CDL?
I have done that.
Those people with the political experience is helping America keep their foot on our neck. We can't just give them the okay because they got a background in it. That's what part of the reason we fucked up.
It's okay for you not to have them on your neck,
hold on,
but it's okay for them to have them by the coochie.
I'm not saying it to advocate for Donald
Okay,
Trump.
I'm just
What I'm
saying.
saying is you dismissing him because he don't have a political background, like he don't have experience at nothing. America is a business.
Hey, it's amazing.
It's a
I
business.
feel like he's doing a great job just running the country off of common sense. I don't agree with it.
Running.
I'm 50-50 with him. I don't agree on everything he do, but you could run this motherfucker over just being a real person, a person that's pro-life and just about America. That's put all
Somebody
you
is
got to do is
saying,
put America first. That's what he's doing. Put America first. He's in there. He was elected in there because American people was tired of America, the way that America was going.
Appreciate you, Tyler.
American people voted for him because American people wanted America to be put first. And with Biden and all them in there, no, they was not putting America first, bro. They put everybody else in front of America and Americans. We could get back to the black and white shit later. We can get back to that if y'all want to. But I'm American for sure.
and the presidency is supposed to be for all of America, not just the select few who you choose to pick.
Oh, I guess, man. Listen, when the man
Oh, we know
put
the
in
United
executive
States.
orders for to stop, things happening with children, and he's pro life, and everything else he did, man. I don't see it as being a bad thing, bro.
That's
Everybody else agenda on the Democrat side. This is what I saw on the Democrat side. Their agenda was homosexuality and abortion. Two things that's anti-life. Two things that's anti-life.
man.
Homosexuality and abortion. And then it's coming from a black woman who has no kids. Then it's coming from this black woman who didn't even choose a black man as a husband. She didn't even choose you, Kurt. She didn't even choose somebody that looked like you. She chose a old Jewish man.
DJ,
She tried her hand with the colors. They ain't work out for her.
You know what I'm saying? So this is what I see. I see a witch.
Oh shit.
That's what I see. I see a witch. I see any woman that has no kids and is pro-abortion is a witch to me. Witches hate kids. They do. What's up, Casey?
Shit, listening to you bash these women.
No, it's not these women. It's not these women. It's one. It's one.
Well,
one witch.
It's one.
One
One at a time, Casey.
Because she ain't got no kids.
One at a time. I said any woman who doesn't have any kids and is pro-abortion is a witch. That's what I said.
She might be barren. Like, how do you know? You know her medical records?
They got it. That got to go together.
You know her medical records? You know if she's even capable of having kids?
No.
Or are we just punishing everybody that doesn't have kids?
No, I don't know her
All right,
medical record.
So it's not really something we could comment on. A lot of people.
Yes, I can. Because at the end of the day, she could adopt and she don't have to be pro-abortion.
She got kids with her
She's trying to be the president.
No, she ain't
Why
got no
would
kids. She don't got no kids with him.
Her husband got kids though.
She can adopt. She could have been adopted, and she could be pro-life.
BJ, women that have kids and adopt kids don't have the luxury of trying to become president. Men
I'm
do.
talking about her. I ain't talking about
and
women.
I'm telling you clearly, she has very high political aspirations, and those things.
I don't
women
care
are
what
a lot
she
harder.
has.
It's a lot harder to adopt kids and raise a family and do all that, and also try to be president.
Man, it's plenty of women that do it.
No,
plenty of
there's
women
no
that do
woman
it.
that's done it yet.
Who
We
did
have
it?
none, actually.
Hey, she's 60 years old. She should have been did that. They would have been the same age as her stepkids. They would have been the same age as her stepkids.
Who said she
And they
wanted
wouldn't have had
kids?
nobody to raise them. They would have been raised by nannies, DJ.
Hey, yo, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, right? At the end of the day, that's her prerogative. She don't want no kids. Cool, that's all.
Yeah, that's her
but
prerogative.
why at your campaign rallies do you have a mobile abortion clinic at your rallies? You cool with that, Casey?
If she got a mobile abortion clinic at her
Yes,
rally?
at her campaigns. When she was running for presidency, her campaigns had a mobile abortion clinic outside ready to give abortions, prepared to give abortions.
If people need an abortion, listen.
I'm about to fact check that. You talk about it too much.
Man, listen.
If,
Yo, listen,
if
man.
you go to another venue and they have some food caterers out there, you ain't gonna say why they got food caterers out here.
Why are we comparing food caterers to abortions, bro?
I mean,
To
because we
killing a
worried about
baby.
what they got outside.
Come on,
The
bro.
message ain't outside. The message is
Why are we
inside.
comparing food
Whatever she's
catering
saying.
to abortion?
I'm saying you picking out the abortion truck that she pulling in. Who cares?
Okay.
Who
Me
cares?
too. I don't know why you
I
hyper
have something to
focus
say.
on social issues when you're trying to compare Democrats and Republicans. You always hyper focus on social issues, which is not 20% of what the world is about. All you talk about is
I'm not talking about the world. I'm talking about America, and I'm talking about what I'm
It's not what
about.
America's about. It's not what America's about. All you talk about is
It
abortion
is what
and
America. What you
homosexuality,
talking about?
which are two of a small percentage of the social issues that any country has to deal with, including America. There's plenty of other issues, such as economic issues, that divide Republicans and Democrats a lot more steeply, and those are the reasons why, like me, for example, I'm not going to say most people, but those are the reasons why a lot of people support Democrats, not because of the two social issues that you're against. That's not entirely what Democrats stand for.
Okay. I don't
feel
care
like
what.
you don't
Hold on.
talk
I just
enough
let y'all
about.
go, bro. Y'all keep cutting me off, and then everybody say I'll be cutting people off. I don't care what Democrats are for. I'm not Democrat or Republican. I don't care. You can't sit here and tell somebody, oh, you can't care about just the social aspect of America. Yes, I can. I could vote for anybody I want to vote for the reason that I want to vote for them. That's the democracy y'all talking about. That's the American way. So because I like his stance when it comes to these children, to these schools, to abortion and
next, Nadia.
and the immigrants and all that shit. Yes, that I'd rather support him than the shit I don't support. Well, let's go to some of the comments too, and Nadia going next. Let them go to some of these
I
comments,
just think
Nadia.
it's rich. Like, I'm so glad.
Where's the last one we was at?
Maine was telling us that Max Kellerman is more black than Stephen A.
Touche.
Tyler Clark agrees with you. Trump is a businessman in the United States.
That's where the economy. Noah was just talking about, Tyler. That's the economic part Noah was just talking about. Go ahead.
Shakira said all of the experienced Democrats lost because people are tired of them lying and doing nothing with all of their experience.
Mm-hmm. And all their credentials.
I mean, they lie on both sides, though, so we can't just pick and say, hey, one side don't lie and the other one do. Trump do the same shit. Biden
No,
do
I
the
don't.
same
You
shit.
ain't say that.
You probably wasn't knowing yet, Casey. I think Kurt was alluding to that he didn't vote for Trump because Trump didn't have political experience, and Kamala is well versed in politics. And so my argument was, what the hell has that done for us all these years?
The reason Trump won is because Biden didn't bow out fast enough and let somebody else more qualified get a full run at it. That's why. And then they threw Kamala on us.
If y'all think a woman is ever gonna become a president of the United States, y'all really don't know y'all country. Y'all really don't know the country y'all live in.
I absolutely do believe.
Y'all really don't know the country y'all live in.
My father said that about a black man when Jesse Jackson ran for president. It ain't never gonna be a black president. So we can never say never in regard.
Obama ain't black. What's the next comments, bro?
Say that again.
Man said Trump's view.
Hold on. Did you zoom past that? You said Obama ain't black?
Wait, can I address that?
Hold on, Kurt. You gonna go? Let's go to these comments because they be wanting us to, highlight their comments. You next, Kurt. Go ahead, Will.
Man said his view, Trump's view in America is rich white men, and he is doing exactly what he said. Shrug, shoulder shrug.
He's lied about everything he said.
But Nadia got the floor. Yeah, Nadia got the floor.
Go ahead, Nadia.
Oh man, I kind of lost my train of thought so much it happened.
Go ahead,
but I
go
think
ahead,
what
Kurt.
I was trying to articulate.
Okay, BJ, now, when you say Obama ain't black, that is your opinion. But that same kind of opinion reminds me of a woman that's trying to define what a black man is. How
You call me a
can...
hoe?
Huh?
The fuck is this nigga saying? Go ahead, Kurt. Go ahead.
Anyway, you know how women will say, well, a black man is supposed to, like she's trying to define what a black man is. That's just as long as saying the man ain't black because he doesn't fit into your stereotype of what a black man is. He married a black woman.
He got that.
That's one of your criteria.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so your statement is inaccurate that he ain't no black man because he don't talk black. My son don't talk black either.
I never said that.
Why isn't he a black
I
man?
know his mentality. I know his mentality, and I know his spirit. I know his mentality, and I know his spirit. I keep telling you, I'm talking about mentality, his mental, and his spirit. Y'all could look at everything else.
Read the
His
comment.
mentality
Go
and
ahead.
his
Will gotta stop on the last comment and stay there until we can address the comment, so we don't miss no
DJ,
comment.
chill, bro.
No, you're not reading comments. You're not reading no.
So, are we addressing that comment?
Yeah, address them all.
No, that's the last one.
Who that was?
That was Van.
Why you say he ain't black though? Why you say he ain't black?
Nadia, you remember what you was gonna say?
I think I was just kind of articulating that you said like this is a country where we get to make choices and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to go back and forth between different points, but I guess my whole thing is if you're saying that that's what you value in the country, that we get to make decisions and you like the democracy of it, that is what pro-choice is. I hate when you keep articulating it's kill babies when that's not necessarily what that establishment is at all. It's giving people the right to their autonomy. You're able to make a choice about your body, which I think is a completely different thing than saying I want kids to die. I don't want kids to die, but I do want people to have the right to say this is not medically what I want to do, or this is not something that I want, because children are not just a decision that you make.
You next.
They're a lifetime commitment that has to be made. And it's not just about you. It takes a whole village to raise a child. So I think it's this crazy, I don't know, idea of saying, oh, I like this value, but I only like it this way. If you're really about having the democracy or having the right to speak and express your mind, then why won't you give that to women and their ability to make a decision about their body when you have a decision as a man to make with your body?
All right, well, we can move on. Casey, you next, but I just don't see how y'all talking all this pro-black stuff, and I just don't get it. Now, women have the right to have abortion. That's it is what it is. I'm picking a side. I choose the side. If I had women in front of me, if I was at Planned Parenthood and I had women in front of me that was walking in the door to get an abortion, I'm gonna try and talk them out of getting an abortion. If they decide to still go in there and get an abortion, so be it. I'm not gonna push them to get an abortion. That's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna be on the side of people that's telling people, oh yeah, you have that right to get your abortion. That's your right. It don't matter what anybody say. I'm talking people, just let them adopt. If you can't afford it, put them up for adoption. You saying, how is it so crazy that I'm sitting here saying I'm pro-life? I want the baby to be born. Y'all coming up with every excuse to kill this baby, to kill this cell that will become a baby if you don't.
But
y'all coming up with finances. Y'all talking about finances. Why is you having sex unprotected if your finances is fucked up? Let's talk about priorities. And get your shit together. Get your life together. If you get pregnant and your first thought is, oh, I can't afford to have a baby. Nah, you should have been on point then.
So they got 9 months to figure it out.
And that too. I'm not gonna sit here and continue to make excuses, especially I gotta go harder on my people because we got too many excuses and we losing. So of course I'm gonna keep telling my people, man, them abortions some bullshit. That's some bullshit. None of your business, especially when we last in everything. Especially when black women have the highest rate of abortion. That's a fact. Especially when Planned Parenthood was created to kill black babies. We just gonna skip that? Margaret Sanger told y'all to y'all face. And y'all still running. And this white man who y'all say is racist and hate black people is the only president, the only person to say, Nah, we banning that. The only one, the white man who hate black people. All the black people say Trump is a racist. If he was racist, he would be pro-abortion. That's just common sense.
No, it's not.
That's just common sense. Go ahead, Casey. It is.
My question is, like,
it very much is. Go ahead, Casey.
Why do it bother you so much? You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. Like, if somebody gonna go in there and fuck on somebody and don't want to have no baby, that's their fucking problem. That's their priority. Who the fuck said, hey, BJ said y'all can't have no babies and don't keep your babies? What the fuck, nigga?
If it bothered me, I would. It don't bother me. If it bothered me, I would be at the Planned Parenthoods like the black woman that got locked up was. It don't bother me. We just talk. Just like you don't care about people having abortions, I do care about my people having abortions because I see the bigger picture. If I'm pro-black and pro-life, of course I'm gonna say no. Y'all shouldn't have an abortion. Just put it up for adoption. Of course I'm gonna say that. How is BJ such the villain because he's saying he's against abortion? This is the crazy part. This is what's fucked up. This is what's fucked up. That's what's crazy.
BJ,
go ahead. Go ahead, Casey. Finish your point.
The whole thing is this: people gonna make their decisions. It don't matter if you're not taking care of them babies. They ain't got nothing to do with you. Once you didn't fuck the person, you didn't have a baby, you didn't push it out, you ain't gonna feed it, you ain't gonna do nothing. Your point is give it to adoption. What if nobody adopted? Fuck all that. If they want it, and you can't say don't have sex without no condoms, because some people don't like condoms. It just is what it is. It's people's priority. What prerogative? It's people's prerogative.
Is everybody? Guess what? I'm not at nobody's house picketing.
Right.
Yo, you better. I'm not at no Planned Parenthood. You better not abort that bitch. I'm not doing none of that. I'm just talking.
Why we giving opinions on that shit, man? Y'all do what y'all want.
I'm just talking. But what's amazing to me is black people are saying don't understand that I'm saying for black women not to kill the black baby. And I want to know how y'all feel in the chat too. Am I really crazy? Am I really tripping?
Let me make a point. Okay.
Somebody hold on, Kurt.
Nora
was next.
BJ, you just have such a narrow conception of what being pro-life entails. Pro-life is not just pro-survival of a fetus. There's an entire life that's going to follow that. And there's we live in a world now where the world is already very overpopulated. There's countries that are literally forcing people to have only one kid. We have a lot of babies. We have a lot of unwanted babies. We have a lot of babies in the foster care system. We have a lot of babies getting adopted a lifetime. We have a lot of babies getting adopted by psychopaths because the adoption system is run like a stupid business where it's just profit incentivized and nobody cares about the well-being of the child. We have a lot of babies. You're acting like the benefit, the welfare of the black community lies in the survival of as many babies as possible everywhere. You know how many babies are starving? Is that pro-life? Starving babies is pro-life? Miserable babies is pro-life? A woman that's depressed as hell and with a man that's beating on her gets accidentally pregnant, sometimes with a condom, sometimes the condom rips, sometimes the birth control don't work for whatever reason. You know when a woman is pregnant and if she's crying and depressed throughout her pregnancy, the baby is like 2.something times more likely to grow up and have chronic depression for the rest of their life? Is that being pro-life to force depressed women in miserable situations, broke women that can't take it, but just force to churn out babies, miserable babies everywhere, starving babies everywhere? For what? How is that pro-life? Pro-life is pro a good life, pro quality of life, pro a sustainable life, not pro churning out miserable fetuses that grow up to be miserable adults, that grow up to be in miserable situations and breed more miserable kids and start generational trauma and generational misery. That's not what being pro-life is. You just pro survival of fetuses. That's what you are.
Okay.
Dawood says, so morals don't matter at all to black people, yet black lives matter. Yeah, right.
So I'm gonna say this in response to Nor, and then I think Nadia and Kurt was next. Okay, so in response to Nor talking about the depression and all this shit, all the countries in Africa, all these countries where these people barely eating, them women got 8, 9 kids. Them kids don't look. I don't even see them. I don't even see children in the poorest African countries where they are barely eating. I don't even see none of them kids with autism. You notice that, Will? I don't even see none of them kids with autism. All the autism is over here with the bullshit. But you talking about misery and way of life and all, you can't determine that. How is it that you come from a country where they don't play that shit, but you get in America and it's this way? Man, all those countries, all those other countries are surviving. They're not having abortions at the rate America is having abortions, and they are surviving. They are doing fine. People are over there in the Middle Eastern countries getting bombs dropped on them. They are still having babies. People are living off the land, off next to nothing, getting rice, eating rice all day, every day. They're still having babies. America is the only place. Black Americans are the only people saying they need to have the right to choose. The Black Americans, let's go back to where Kurt said they was just existing. The Black Americans before 1940, 1930s, slavery, it don't get no more depressing and stressful than slavery. And them babies wasn't coming out with any problems. They was coming out like big bucks, wasn't they? Working that plantation, wasn't they? And all the way through to Margaret Singer, whatever her name, came through with the Planned Parenthood. We was fine. We was having babies. That woman was having 8, 9 children with the stress of being hung and lynched and the husband not making it back home and stuff. With all these possible narratives, here it is 2025 and y'all making up all these excuses not to have children. That's why I keep saying it goes right back to what I've been saying from
How many
jump.
single mothers
After
you know,
1960s, from 1960 on up, the black race done got watered down, like whipped up work, bro.
How many single mothers you know?
We the weakest race.
Hold on. How many single mothers you know?
Too many to count.
Shit. I was about to say all of them.
All right. So what you saying contradicts a whole lot of shit. Because I know single mothers with 6 kids, 5 kids, 4 kids that can barely take care of the kids that they got. And then you would think they lean on their family members to help, and their family members got their own kids and own shit they do. And then they got to try to help somebody else. And what you saying is, man, have more kids, keep having the kids.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's not
what I'm saying at all.
Don't have no abortions. Don't have no abortions.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
These motherfuckers don't need to have these kids.
I just said if your situation ain't a situation, then you shouldn't be having kids in the first place.
Right, but what if
that's what I'm saying?
What if they get pregnant? What if they get pregnant? Because you can't say just because, hey, you don't have the money to do this, you can't have your life.
Okay, so then because this raggedy bitch that ain't got nothing and this raggedy nigga that ain't got nothing decide to keep fucking, because that's all niggas is talking. That's all black people talking about right now. It's fucking and getting pregnant. So because they keep fucking and getting pregnant and they ain't got shit else to go for and shit else to do in life, they just keep having fucking abortions.
That's their fucking problem. It's their prerogative. Nigga,
It
you
is.
ain't fucking her.
It
He
is.
ain't fucking, you know what I'm saying? Let them do them.
I said it's their prerogative, bro. I'm not at nobody's house
That's what I'm saying.
trying
So
to change anything.
We ain't gonna be at the line saying, hey, y'all need to keep this baby. Fuck that, do you? But if you can't take care of it, get rid of this shit. Because just like Nora said, nigga, this shit is overpopulated. And we done seen way too many motherfucking kids out here that's in these foster homes. That murdering his children is demonic. That shit ain't demonic. Y'all just saying shit.
How the fuck is America overpopulated? What makes America overpopulated?
Nigga, the world is overpopulated. That's why you barely can get different. You know it, but you're doing the research on everything. You gotta do the research on all of it. Don't just point one and then say this is what it's going to be.
Y'all believe everything. That's why I know. That's why
what you doing. You believe everything Trump say? Every time Trump say something, you say, "I'm with that." Fuck that nigga. That nigga ain't doing nothing for you. None of these folks are doing nothing for none of us, bro. We out here trying to make it on our own. So if you can't have it and you can't afford that shit, let that shit go. You gotta goddamn say, man, what I'm gonna do for mine at home. We ain't all black people, all kin folk ain't, all skin folk ain't kin folk, nigga. If they can't afford it, let that shit ride. Cause that's their business. I don't gotta take care of nobody but with mine, without the motherfuckers that I had, that's the ones I'm gonna take care of. If I can help the ones around me, I'm gonna help those. But if the motherfuckers can't keep their shit, do y'all. What I'm mad at you for? Because you want to have an abortion, it ain't pro-life, and ain't got no morals, it ain't none of that. My morals say I'm gonna take care of mine. I ain't worried about what the next motherfucker got. I don't worry about what 100 other motherfuckers doing over there. I wonder about what the fuck going on over here. That's where my priorities is. What goes on in my home. Fuck all the other shit. Fuck Trump. He ain't no good businessman. Our country fucked up. But you saying he doing good. Nigga, this shit fucked. Nigga, we fucked. Nigga, we truckers. Nigga, this shit fucked for us. You know what I'm saying? The health workers, nigga, that's fucked. Your planes, that's fucked. Your countries, that's fucked. We fucked, nigga, as a country. We fucked. But y'all sitting over here talking about some fucking abortions. Fuck them kids. If niggas can't afford that shit, let that shit ride. Nigga, we got other priorities that we have to worry about here, at home. We can't be worrying about other shit. And I like what you saying, and you got your point because it's your opinion. But nigga, fuck that shit. We got our own shit we worried about. We can't be worrying about who going to a fucking abortion clinic because they can't afford to take care of their child. You need to be a responsible adult and watch where you lay down with, man. Who? If you gonna
all right. Listen. That's cool. I got you, Casey. Right? I'm not passionate. You're more passionate about killing babies than I am about not killing them. I'm not even that passionate about it. It's only a discussion on the podcast. When this camera go off, it is what it is. I'm on to my life. I'm going back to my life. As far as Trump, I don't repeat nothing. I don't repeat everything Trump say. I don't give a fuck about Trump. How many times I got to tell y'all? This is the narrative of the black person, right? When they don't agree with you, they got to set a narrative of like, I'm the mad one, or I'm just believing like I give a fuck about Trump, or like Trump, or I think Trump cares about me. Bro, I've been saying this since the first podcast, bro. Y'all too emotional. I don't give a fuck about nobody in politics. Obama didn't give a fuck about me. Biden didn't. Nobody did. I gave a fuck about me. I don't care about none of that. But when the topic comes up between this person and that person, I have a right to choose a person like you have a right to choose. I don't call y'all coons or none of that shit. I don't say nothing about y'all choice. I don't say nothing about you or who you choose. I ask you why you chose that person. I'm talking about that person. That's it. I don't care who y'all chose. I don't care. I don't even vote. I don't care. But it's funny how just because a black person might have voted for Trump, they're a coon. They're a sellout. If I did vote, I would have voted for Trump. How am I a coon and a sellout? From where? I like the things he's doing and talking about. I didn't like nothing Kamala was talking about. I didn't like nothing Biden was doing and talking about. You're talking this we fuck. Nigga, Trump had this shit popping in 2020. I don't know where you was at.
He didn't.
I was out here in 2019, 2020, 2021 through COVID. It was popping. Biden came in here, the rates went down, and the fuel went up. Diesel was $5, $6 when Biden first came in. I'm not gonna get into the whole, that was this. That's what happened, bro. For the last 4 years, the economy been fucked up. America been fucked up. It still might be fucked up. But I'm gonna do me. I'm not crying about it. We talking about it. That's all. I'm not so concerned. How is it so easy for you to say, I'm not the guy that's gonna say fuck them kids? It's cool. I play around like that sometimes. But when it comes to serious discussion, I'm not the guy that's saying the black women fuck it. If she's fucking and having kids and shit, fuck them kids. She could have some more. She just throw them away or whatever. It ain't my prerogative. And I'm still gonna take care of mine. I've been doing it forever. I'm still gonna do me. But I could talk about that too. I could say what's right and what's wrong. I could tell black people get their shit together. Why the fuck we can't tell black people get their shit together, but want to fucking talk about the white man all day? But when it comes to saying something real about black people, it's, why would you care about that? Because they my fucking people. Come on, what are we talking about here?
Tyler Clark, you need to be responsible adult and watch who you lay down with. Women sleep with who they want and men sleep with who they can.
When the fuck did we get into black people not being responsible adults? When did we get there? 1960s. 1970s.
Shakira, killing our black babies is a demonic spirit.
And it's only the black race having this issue. I don't see white people divided over abortions and shit. I don't see Mexicans divided over abortion. Mexicans live wherever the fuck they live with 20 kids and 30 people in the house and go through whatever struggle they gonna go through. All of a sudden, I got people talking about, the finances and the kid gonna grow up this way. Man, listen, bro, I don't even think like that.
BJ, white people get abortions.
I don't
white
even
people
think like that.
Abortions. It's not solely a black issue.
I didn't say that. Y'all gotta stop doing that. Y'all gotta stop. Hold on, no. I didn't say it's only a black issue. Y'all gotta stop doing that. Y'all gotta stop doing that. What I said was I don't see white people divided, Mexicans divided over abortion and pro-abortion, anti-abortion and pro-abortion. It's just black people that it's their right to kill, and it's only towards the black race only. It's only towards the black race. Go ahead, no.
BJ, I just think when you mentioned my people about how they have a lot of kids and how Mexicans have a lot of kids, first of all, when you're talking about other communities and Africans as well, when you're talking about other communities in other countries, the people that I knew when I was younger that had more than 10 kids, and there was a lot of them, their child labor isn't illegal then. Back home, having a lot of kids is a safety mechanism in order for you not to die alone in a hospital. If you have 10 kids, you can get them all working by the age of 8. They're selling cigarettes at the traffic light. They making money. They're a source of income. That is why there's a lot of people from the more you go up the tiers where people have better quality of life and higher welfare. If you go to middle class then upper class, they have less and less and less kids, and they're more intentional about when they have kids, why they have kids, at what stage of their life they're having kids.
That makes sense.
Just having
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not against that, no.
Right, okay, I'm just letting you know that where I come from, the people that have a lot of kids are not living, they're surviving. And having kids is a survival instinct. They have a lot of kids because they're thinking, when I'm 80, if I have 10 kids, odds are 2 of them are going to be at my deathbed, paying for me, making sure I'm good. That's not the situation in America is different. It's not like most of the middle class and upper class in Jordan will always travel to another country in the Gulf and find their abortion if they have kids at a time when they can't take care of a kid. That's what I keep trying to impress upon you, is that my belief when it comes to abortion versus, I don't believe in late-term abortion.
That's your belief. You have your right to your belief.
All right, let me explain my belief. The early stage abortions, when you're talking about saving a 1-month-old baby or a 2-month-old baby, a fetus, sorry, I don't understand why you think that it's beneficial for the progress and development of a community as a whole. When a black mother, for example, has 7 babies, she is less likely to work on her life and develop her life if she only had to take care of her.
Why the fuck she got 7 babies?
That's the difference between, you're telling me
that why she got 7 babies is what I'm saying.
5 babies, 4 babies. If you're telling people that the second you get a fetus in you, you should immediately carry that pregnancy.
I'm not telling people that.
I'm telling you that mentality stifles growth in any community, whether abroad or here. It stifles growth.
That's dumb.
It ruins your chance at having a high quality of life for you and your family. It ruins your chance at being able to afford every one of your kids, getting the education that they want, getting the life that they want, building the business that they want. It's just destroying the chances. So I don't know why you just correlate more babies and more life with beneficial, perfect.
Because when my race wasn't having abortions, when my race wasn't having abortions, we were thriving. I'm gonna keep going back to that. Fresh out of slavery. When the black woman wasn't having abortions, we were thriving. From 1865, when slavery was abolished, all the way up to the 1930s, 1940s, 1950s, they were not having abortions, and we were doing just fine. Living off the land, living however we needed to live. Just because you don't have babies, don't mean you're not going to fucking struggle. It's people out here struggling without kids. I'm not gonna make y'all just making a reason every time. It's just an excuse. It's just an excuse, bro. And if you know, I know my history. I know the history of the black race. The black race was having when that black woman was having all them babies. When Nadia, when your great grandmother, how many children your great grandmother had?
I'm not sure, but I did have something to say.
When our great grandparents was having all them kids, all them babies, they did just fine. We're here today.
They had 15. So to articulate, no. The highest percentage of black people in 1950 was 15% of Americans. We are sitting at 14.
It's the same now.
13. Right. So my point in saying this is, even with abortions being legalized, it hasn't really changed the tempo of us having, or I guess our progression as a unit, as a community. So when you're saying this, it's not really influencing as much as you're saying it is, because abortions have been legalized for a while now, a long time for now, or decades ago. That has not changed our percentage, which my point is saying is, you arguing that somehow women having the option to have an abortion is changing or hindering our communities more so than us not being educated or having more resources or having more socioeconomic status in America doesn't make sense. That's what I'm trying to get at. But also, too, I don't agree with people having abortions as birth control. I agree with
That's
Chaz.
what I'm against, Nadia.
Hold on. Can I please speak?
Go ahead, because y'all keep saying what I'm saying, and
No,
I'm not
you
saying that
cut
stuff.
me
Go ahead,
off.
Nadia.
Cut
Go
me
ahead.
off. Respectfully.
Go ahead. My
I
bad.
don't I don't like the idea of that being a thing that we can't allow people to have an abortion, because at the end of the day, having a kid, again, I agree with Noor, having a kid that doesn't have a quality life is more important than just having a life. And if what we're noticing is that most of our kids are going to prisons, or they're not living long, or our population is not increasing, it doesn't have to do with the fact that we're not populating enough, but more so that the life that people are having, they're not thriving enough so that they want to have bigger and more happy families. That's what I'm seeing out of the situation. And the answer to that is not having more kids, but rather giving more resources so people feel more comfortable about having bigger family dynamics. And that's not an issue that's just in the Black community. That's an issue with white women as well. They're not having as many kids. They're not having as many kids. And that's why they're incentivizing to get rid of abortions, because they're not populating enough. But
Come
that's
on with
saying
it.
more so how our socioeconomic status in America is upholding, versus just alone saying that, oh, abortions are bad.
Also, just some quick facts, BJ. As of 2022 CDC data, the total fertility rate for each race in terms of how many births per woman, the number one race is Hispanic. They have 1.9 kids per woman. Number two is Black. They have 1.6 kids per woman. Number three is white. They have 1.5. And number four is Asian. They have 1.4 kids per woman. So I don't see where this like stark discrepancy in like the abortions are just completely wiping out the Black race, when it's almost the same number per woman. All of them are between 1.4 and 1.9 births per woman. It's not like every Black woman is having abortions. I don't
I
see this
didn't.
epidemic thing.
First of all, I never said that. Second of all, you're not even looking up the stats to support what I was talking about. You're looking up the stats of people, the women having birth. Okay, look up the stats of who have the highest rate of abortion. Then it won't. If Black women wasn't at the highest rate of abortion, they would be having more kids. That's just common sense. Come on. Come on.
They're already number two race that's having kids, and so how many kids
Then
do
they
you
would
want
be
Black
number
people to have per
one.
woman?
If they didn't have the highest rate of
You just
abortions,
want
they
them
would
to
be
beat
number
the
one.
Hispanics? Is
Hispanics are number one because they don't have abortions like that. They're not the highest. They don't have the highest rate of abortions. That's just common
Let's look
sense.
up the
I
statistics.
wasn't talking about that. We're going to move on to another topic anyway. But all I'm saying is women, Black women, using abortion as a birth control, I'm against. That's me. Everybody, y'all fuck them kids. Fuck the Black women over there with the 7, 8 babies and all that. Because, yeah, fuck them. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But
That was the best way to say it, man.
I
Don't
thought
use
I thought
abortion as
everybody
a.
was. I thought we was pro-Black here. I thought we cared about the Black community and the Black life and Black lives matter and all that. I thought that's what I thought. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm wrong. Y'all right.
I care about quality of life. That's the difference. But also too,
Who are you to determine the quality of a life? You don't know what
based
the
off,
quality of a life is gonna be with
you
or
know,
without a
they
child.
look at they look at the quality of our, they look at, you know, standard of living. You know what that is? They look at that based off of
Who's
your
they?
education, your literacy,
Who's they?
the government, other governments nationally. They look at standard of living.
Right.
That's how well off your people are in your country. Are they educated? Are they eating? Are they taken care of? So when you're saying that, who are you? The government literally does that.
Okay.
Other societies do that.
That's fine.
That's not an unknown thing. And
That's
then
fine.
also
They could do that. That's
on top of that, BJ, before we end the live, the part that I completely disagree with, and I know that you would be lying to my face if you told me every time you laid down with somebody you were hoping to procreate. You
I
are
never
not.
said. We already went through that. I said
Oh no, no,
no.
no, no. But let me just finish my set. That would be a lie. And the reality of the situation is, every time people have sex, they are not willing to have a kid, and that is okay. And the moment that we accept that and wake up from la la land, that every time you lay down with somebody that you're expecting to have a baby with that, then we can have a better society. But the reality of the situation is, people are not laying down just to have kids, and if they need protection or if something goes left, then they should be able to have a choice about that. And if you
Y'all
got
got
lucky
the
enough for
choices. Y'all
life,
got. Go ahead.
if you, I'm gonna go ahead
We
and
got a
finish.
lot of people. We got to keep it moving. Go ahead, Nadia.
If you had the blessing to where you laid down every time and you never had a kid that you didn't want, then kumbaya to you. But that's
How is
not
that
the
a blessing?
reality. That's not the reality for everybody else. Cause if you okay, BJ, all right,
If
we'll digress
if
on that.
abortion wasn't a crutch to be used as birth control, people would make different decisions. Not everyone, but some people would make different decisions.
If it wasn't a tool that the same government she's talking about, if it wasn't a tool that the government created to use against the black race, they would have never came up with Planned Parenthood. I'm against Planned Parenthood. I'm against that. I'm against it. Plain. It could be la la land. It could sound crazy to y'all, but I know better. And the same race, my people, that wasn't all this education you talking about and all this other stuff and way of life and standard of living, we didn't have none of that in the 1800s. We didn't have none of that in the early 1900s. It wasn't about that. It was about
We didn't
life.
have rights either.
It was about
We didn't have
family.
rights either
It was
as
about
black
life,
people.
family, structure. That's what it was about. And I'm not even blaming the black woman. Let me get that clear too. I'm not even blaming the black woman. I blame the black man more than the black woman.
So
For
should
real.
vasectomies be illegal?
Are they legal?
I said, should they be illegal? Should a vasectomy be illegal? So we shouldn't. So after we have 2 kids or whatever, and we don't want to have no more, should it be illegal to get our balls clipped?
No.
Right. The same
Because
difference, right?
if that's the case, I would be saying condoms should be illegal. So nah, I think it should be legal. I think responsible black. I think black people need to be more responsible. One, and I think the more responsible we are, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's it. I'm just against the black woman using abortion as birth control.
I agree with that.
Just in response to the comment that Sulaiman just posted.
Oh, let's get to some comments, Will. We missed a lot
Sulaiman
of
said
comments.
abortion is a sin and unnatural. The Holy Quran says to not kill your babies out of fear of poverty. Allah will always provide. That's not what this surah is about. Everybody always says that. When Islam came, it came at a time when infanticide particularly female infanticide, every time they would have most of the time when they would have a female baby after she was alive, they call it an ayam al-jahliya, which means like the age of ignorance, right before Islam came around. They would kill the babies when they were alive. After you would have a baby, when you find out it's a female was found to be an expense and she's not likely to produce money. So they would bury them while they were alive. Google female infanticide before Islam. That was the whole reason where there was this surah, Surah Al-An'am, and there's another surah also that explicitly says when the girl was buried alive, it refers to like the practice of burying babies alive. It's not about fetuses. It's about the practice of burying live babies. Islam does not even mention abortion explicitly anywhere in the Quran. All it talks about is the fact that Islam was the reason why they stopped burying babies alive, like real human beings.
Man, how you know white people are very divided on pro-life? How you know? In choice debate, how you know?
No, it's a hot button issue. Everybody fight that.
How you know?
Can I get a statement in edgewise?
And shout out and Charlie, shout out to your great grandmother who had 16 kids.
Wait a minute.
What year was that? And can you put what year that was and the level of her education, please? When she had them 16 kids, and they obviously did fine because you're here.
Can you mute?
Go ahead, Kurt.
Okay. See, this is what's so confusing about me. I keep hearing this, I'm anti-killing babies, especially when I heard it coming from the Muslim community who will strap a bomb to a baby and blow up a whole bunch of other ethnic people. You know what I'm saying? It's okay for Israel to bomb those babies. That's just not our baby. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pro-life, except when it comes to pro-life with somebody else's life. You know, I get the option to say, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's about a person's choice. Why take away somebody's civil liberty or whatever right they have to satisfy your own ego? I don't get that.
You talking about me?
Because them same babies that we talking about having are them same niggas that DJ say them niggas ain't shit. Because they come up with parents that didn't want them, but was forced to have them, and now they just in the street doing nothing. They ain't being taught no morals. Truly, if she didn't have all these babies, she ain't teaching no morals. So now all of a sudden you bringing a whole bunch of uneducated, ignorant niggas that DJ say my people ain't shit about.
Y'all right, man.
Bringing in people in the world you don't even claim.
So the answer is kill them. Kill them before they born. Y'all right. I get it. Y'all right. Shit, y'all right.
Give them an option. Give them an option.
Hey, y'all right, man. Kill them. Don't even kill them before they born. That's the answer. Fuck it. Y'all right.
Preach family planning instead of preaching every unwanted baby being born. Preach family planning. Preach intentional, like those things.
No, where are you at when I'm saying black people should be more responsible?
I've heard that, but that's 1% of your argument. Your large argument is every unwanted baby should be born. That's what you want.
I don't know if they unwanted or not. How do you know if they unwanted or not?
Because a woman that wants to get an abortion but is forced to have the baby, that means she didn't want it because she was trying to kill it but couldn't.
No, that don't mean that. That don't mean that.
What does that mean?
That don't mean that.
She wanted the baby gone.
No, that does not mean that. That does not mean that. You can't speak for every woman. I know plenty of women that went to the abortion clinic and didn't have it and loved their baby.
Yeah,
love their baby.
Then they were on the fence about whether they wanted the baby.
It don't matter about what they was. They didn't do it.
But
and love their baby. You can't say every woman that went and thought about it didn't want to have their baby.
But at the end of the day, it was her choice whether to want it or not.
They could have the choice. Kurt, you saying the same thing over and over again. They could have that choice.
Next topic.
Because you're saying the same thing over and over.
You're saying the same repeated thing, but it doesn't make sense because at the end of the day, you're saying don't have a choice. When in reality, I don't care if they have, but you do care if they have a choice. We're just actively asking that, hey, this person gets to make it about their body, if they want a kid or not. The only person or one of the people in the room, no, I actively don't agree with that place or say so.
Let me ask y'all a question. Did y'all not hear me say 2-3 times? I'm against women having abortion as birth control, using abortion as birth control. Did y'all hear me say that?
Couple times.
So why is it all these other narratives? This is how I see how Trump get fucked up all the time. I'm sitting here in front of these people saying the same thing, and they keep talking about choice. All I'm saying is, even if it's their choice to do that shit, I'm against it. They still got the right to do it, the choice to do it, whatever. I don't make the fucking laws. If they got to go to another state to do it, that's what they're going to have to do. That's that. I'm just against that. That's it.
It was a universal choice before, and now it's not a But again, it's a choice to have it. That's still a legalized thing you get to do. But as a woman, I don't.
It's cool. Moving on to the next topic, man, because we're going to be on abortion forever. Dr. Jamal Bryant protests Target and holds memorial service for 5th year anniversary of George Floyd.
That's the church I go to. Come on with it.
Who, Dr. Jamal?
Come on. Every Sunday. Come on. That's my guy.
Bullshit.
Come on with the bullshit. I don't even know why.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not surprised you go there. I'm not surprised you go there. I'm not surprised you go there, kid.
Come on, man. That church be popping. Come on with it. Why? Because he said don't go to Target? We on Dollar General next. Come on. We on Dollar General next. And you see you see when he did the Target thing, you see it worked, right? You see Target done lost all their sales, right? You see they losing, they going down, right? That's what happens when black people come together, when we really unify. You know what I'm saying? That's a unity right there. So, but we'll let that go because, you know what I'm saying, you don't like them, I guess, but come on with it.
Nah, I ain't gonna say I don't like them. I ain't never gonna say I ain't gonna say I don't like them. feel like he's some bullshit too, like Al
Right.
Sharpton and them.
I mean, they tried to go get Al Sharpton to
Yeah.
talk instead of going to get Jamal Bryant when Jamal Bryant the one who set it off.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think they some bullshit. That's all.
Why?
I think all of them are.
Right.
I think he's the same thing, an ambulance chaser. You know, ain't really doing nothing. Ain't really
But
about shit, man.
Did you do your research on it though?
No, I didn't.
All right, so
I'm just going by when I'm just going by when I see him, when he pops up.
So you just going off an appearance.
It's something like this. School me on him. That's why I said, go ahead, bro.
I'm going to educate you. See,
School me on him.
Before he even did the Target initiative, see, we knew when the Target initiative was coming. He taught us about a month and a half before it took place. March. And it was to happen, in May 15th, May, something like that. We knew about 6 weeks ahead of time because what he wanted to do was make sure we had a caucus for black businesses to remove their product. He didn't want to just go to Target and say, hey, y'all stop going to Target. He gave all the black products, the black companies inside of Target enough time to get their products out of Target and to set up another platform so that we can buy directly from them so that they don't lose revenue. Y'all keep y'all stock there until y'all can move it, and we secure this space for y'all to come do it. Because if they're not going to support us like they said they were, when Target said we're going to support what we have going for y'all, and then as soon as Trump came in and said, nah, take it away, and then y'all reneged on what y'all committed to us. Now we're going to show y'all that our black dollar matters. So where we were spending $12 million, I believe $12 million a day with Target, now Target has lost that. So they CEO them lost money, and Target dollar share stock value went from $143 to $97. That's the power of the black dollar. So it ain't we just going at Target. He just picking Target and saying, oh, I just want to go be an ambulance chaser. No, nigga, y'all reneging on what y'all saying to the black culture, to the black people that make Target that when we come in there and spin with you. So now we gonna target y'all. Y'all didn't want to meet with us. So what they do, instead of going to talk to the man who started it, they tried to go to the coon, Al Sharpton. Let's go get Al Sharpton. The nigga ain't got nothing to do with nothing. And then Jamal Bryant says, okay, y'all motherfuckers still don't want to talk to me? All right, fuck you. We're going to come in front of y'all building now, and we're going to protest where George Floyd was goddamn choked out. We're going to do this for 9 minutes. It's going to be peaceful and quiet. The CEO still won't talk to us. So guess what? We're not coming back. Guess what? We're going to stand in front of your building. We're going to protest, and then we're going to go on about our way. And now that we didn't cancel y'all, we on to the next one. So the next one is Dollar General. Because they in every corner, on every neighborhood, just like the liquor store. But they ain't did one thing to put a dollar into the black community or none of the communities that we around. So now we keep on moving. It ain't about what he look like or if he feel like he pimping or anything that we can say. He's saying, listen, we built this country. Y'all got to stick with it. Give back to us. Give back to us and let us move forward with y'all instead of trying to work against us, because our dollar, we have the highest spending power. We are the spending power. That's what makes the culture, the black dollar. So if y'all want us to come into y'all facilities, into y'all establishments and spend our money, pour back into us. That's what he's saying, and people's following behind that. It's not the same thing as Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, all the rest of them. He can be like that, but if it's for our movement right now, the same way you protesting about what you protesting and have you and your feelings, he doing the same thing. He just got people behind him that agree with it.
Van, who you talking about? Ain't he on the Real Housewives of Potomac?
Nigga in Lithonia.
Man, what are you talking about? Van, what is Van talking about? And okay, child, she was a self-taught slave. She didn't have much education. Yep.
What y'all talking about? Oh, the granny with 16
kids?
It
had 16 kids.
That's a lot of kids, but grandparents back then, man, every one of us came from a family where our grandparents had at least 7 kids and 10 kids, but it wasn't no abortions back then.
Let me ask you this, and because we do know that, right? Do you think they had it better than us or worse than us?
I think it was a different time. I think they was out there farming and cropping. They wasn't in the same league that we in right now. We more evolved.
No, I'm saying living conditions, whether it's
they
the government.
Outhouses.
Was their living conditions worse than
Yes,
ours or better?
yes, worse.
Okay.
BJ, I think 3 generations ago the life expectancy was like 55 or something. They were
I
sick
don't
all the
believe that.
time.
I think we need to fact check that.
All right, let
No,
me
I
fact
know the life
check that.
it
I
Great.
think
it
we
So
need to. I believe they was living way longer back then.
no, they weren't.
Yeah, we need to fact
I'll
check
fact
that.
check it.
A lot of shit with me is common sense.
No, they weren't living longer, and also too, actually, in certain time periods, they would have more kids because you were less likely to know if your kid would survive a certain age. So they would have more kids because they didn't know how many would actually survive to be an adult.
And what doctors was they able to get into to have abortions if they wanted one? Shit, we
Exactly.
barely had rights. You feel
We're
me? So come
we're
on.
right. We're living in a time period where I think we're the most we have some of the more rights than our ancestors ever had before, and they probably would have done a lot of things differently if they had a say so, if they had more rights or more freedom to speak up about what they wanted and did not want. You're talking about a time period where women couldn't even have their own separate bank account, let alone get an abortion.
BJ, around 1850, white Americans' life expectancy circa 1850 was 38 to 40.
I'm
White
never.
females was 40 to 42. And black Americans was often under 30 years.
When that
Around
was?
1850. 1850. Recently emancipated or enslaved black Americans had a life expectancy that was often under 30 years.
Yeah, during
They was
slavery.
not thriving, PJ. They
I
were
could
not
understand
thriving.
that. I could understand that.
They didn't have Tylenol. How you think they was thriving? They would die
You
of a
talking about
headache.
Tylenol?
They were
That
dying
was
of
during
headaches.
slavery. Why are you talking about Tylenol? That was during
I'm
slavery.
talking about in general, the whole world back then, 3 generations ago, they were dying of headaches. They were
Literally dying of colds. Like what?
they didn't have antibiotics. You would get sick one time, it was done. And that's obviously when something like that is happening all across the world. Obviously, minorities and people that are already oppressed get the worst end of the run of it. Like, obviously, they wasn't thriving when white people was barely living till 40 years in America.
I would love to drop you in that period and see if you still say they thriving. I would love to see what happens to you if you would still classify what's going on as thriving,
They
because I
did.
feel like you wouldn't.
You don't have to do all that. You could just look at the stats. You could look
No,
at the
go
stats.
there. I would love to put you in a time machine and see how much you thrive. I would love to see you thrive in that period because
You
I
would
don't
have
think
to
you would say.
rewind it 10 years. Because you wouldn't be around now.
BJ, be on the way.
I didn't even hear what she said.
I said you would have to rewind it 10 years because you wouldn't even be around at this age. 30 is crazy. 30 years old mortality rate is crazy.
Yeah.
Hey,
You know,
BJ.
we could look at the statistics. We could look at the statistics of black-owned hospitals in that time frame to black-owned hospitals now. We could look at the statistics of black-owned hotels to black-owned hotels now. Black-owned schools to black-owned schools now.
We talked about this before.
Black-owned banks to black-owned banks now. We could just look at the statistics. You ain't got to drop me in that time period. I know history. I know the history of black people in America. I know our history.
Let me
The
answer this
history is
question
Let
right
here.
here.
if we
Here's
own
all of
okay,
those.
so Kurt, you and Kurt was so adamant about saying our people after slavery was just existing. They weren't thriving. So what are we doing now if we don't have what they had back then? We don't have communities with black banks, black hospitals, black schools, black hotels, black everything. We don't have those communities now. So if they was just existing and they weren't thriving, you're saying they weren't thriving. How is a community, how is a race of people not thriving when they're self-sufficient?
Being self-sufficient and thriving are two different terminologies. I don't
How is that
agree
possible? Let
because
me hear it.
yeah, when you're self-sufficient, that means that you're able to do things on your own. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing things to the best of your abilities just because you're doing it on your own. There's a lot of people that get kicked out at 18 that are doing it on their own. I wouldn't classify them as necessarily thriving. but they are surviving through the situation that they're put into because
Yeah, you
that's
talking
their
about them. I'm
option.
talking about a race, a
Can I just
community.
finish what I'm
You
saying?
got to stay on
Can I?
topic, though. Go
No,
ahead.
I'm not. I am
Oh,
staying on
Go ahead. Go ahead.
topic. I'm saying that that's to me is not considered thriving. That is self sufficiency, yes, but it's not thriving. Thriving is being able to say I can live comfortably on my own. I can take care of this. And let me answer this question right here because it says how is living conditions better nowadays, but you do not have kids. Sounds very selfish. It's not selfish. It's actually making sure that I give any kid that I have on this planet the best of my abilities. And if I had multiple of them, I knew that I could not give them the best of my abilities. So instead, I would choose to make wise decisions so that I'm able to do the absolute best I can at giving every opportunity, great education, and great environments to whatever kid I have instead of having multiple and hoping that they have decent expectations outside of what they are given. That's the difference. I would call that less selfish, actually, because I'm being cognizant about what I'm doing instead of just making a reckless decision.
We got
That's
10
not
minutes,
selfish.
y'all. Go ahead, Nadia. Finish your point.
So anyway, I would argue that self sufficiency does not does not correlate to being thriving. Thriving is when you're able to do things in a setting that is comfortable to you and that is almost like second nature. I wouldn't classify just being able to say that we had some black hospitals or that we had this and that because truth be told, that may not be what black people wanted to do, but rather what they
Oh
had
my
to do
God.
to survive. Absolutely. No, I'm serious. Absolutely.
That's the problem. You're serious. A community of black people that probably didn't want to own black banks, black hospitals, black schools, black everything in their
That's not what I'm
community
saying.
probably really didn't want that. They was forced to have that.
No,
Okay.
I'm saying that they were forced to be integrated with just themselves and not expand outside of that or have options to mingle with other communities. Now we do. So there's not a lot of purely just black communities is what you're seeing.
Okay. Well, a community that owns everything, like the Jews, don't have to come outside their community and everything stays inside their community. That's a community that's thriving. I don't know about the 18-year-old getting kicked out and self-sufficient and just whatever. I wasn't talking about that. I'm talking about a race of people, a community of, fuck the race, a community of people that is self-sufficient in their community, don't need the government for nothing, don't need another race, don't need anybody for nothing, and can withstand within their own and hold it down within their own. That's a powerful nation. That's a powerful community. That is what Ibrahim Traore, president of Burkina Faso, is showing today. Salute to Ibrahim, too.
okay, but the difference is you're saying they thriving and they didn't have to depend on nobody. But all of these things you're talking about was taken, so they had to depend on them people for security. I mean, they how is it you're thriving, but you can't hold what you thrive for because of the oppressive tactics that have been used when we own these places. They took it from you. I'm not saying that we shouldn't own shit because we should, but all of the disadvantages that have been placed on us due to the oppressive policies that have gone on in this country for hundreds of years limited our ability to thrive and thrive. Thrive meaning to continue, not to thrive for 20 years or 30 or 40 years and all of a sudden we ain't got nothing because none of that from Black Wall Street and those hospitals were the black communities compensated for. They took that from them. So how is that thriving? I don't see that as how am I thriving if somebody can come and take what I thrive for?
Simple. It doesn't mean you wasn't thriving. You
It
can't say
doesn't
they
mean that
wasn't
I
thriving
will.
because
It
people drop
doesn't mean
bombs
that I
on them.
will either. How am I thriving if I have nothing at the end of it?
Because you at the point where you were thriving, you were thriving. At the point where you had the stuff, you were thriving.
Oh, I was just making it. I was just surviving.
No,
That's
you just surviving now. That's not even making sense. The way y'all dump, the way
okay.
y'all just
So
dump on the ancestors is crazy. That's
let me
crazy to
talk.
me. The way y'all dump on the ancestors and y'all have nothing compared to them. Y'all
You
have
say,
nothing.
why is it that you
Y'all
always
have
cut
nothing
people
compared to them.
off
Nothing. And y'all
in
wouldn't
between?
survive. Nadia, if I dropped you
DJ,
off in
but
the
in
time, if I put
between,
you in that same time
DJ,
machine and dropped you off in the late
I
1800s,
never argued that
me
I
and
would
you,
survive.
me and
You
you,
did. You did. I
I
never
bet you I
argued that
DJ,
last
I would
longer.
hold
survive.
on,
You did. I
DJ.
don't want to
You
be
and
in there.
Kurt, not just
Matter of
Will,
you,
will
fact,
you cut his
I don't
not
want
just
to
mic,
be
you.
mic
nowhere near
for a
those
moment?
times.
You
Will,
and Kurt.
cut
No,
his mic
nowhere
for a
near them.
moment.
And I
Come
know that.
on.
I know
DJ,
that. You
in
the only
between,
You and
DJ,
Kurt.
in between every narrative, you cut in and you get your point across and talk for
Kurt,
20
I thought
minutes.
you was finished, bro. Like, come on, I
How
sat
you
here and
think
waited.
you didn't stop to let me finish? How you thought I was finished because you jumped in
Oh my
and took
God.
over? See, your mic is louder than anybody else. You sound just like Donald Trump. He thinks because
Let me
he's
know when
We
you
need to
finish,
take
talking
man.
away
about it,
BJ Mike. His mic is too strong.
right?
Good.
He
Let me
needs to
know when
be
you finish,
cut.
Kurt.
After his
God
3
damn,
minutes
man.
of talking, you need to mute his microphone because between every time somebody talks, he jumps in. There goes his voice. We might as well
Yo,
call it
now you know what it
BJ.
is? I
DJ.
make my point and I keep going. Y'all be
Okay, but
long-winded.
you gotta let somebody else make a point.
Make it then, Kurt.
But how can I make it if you
All
keep
right, so
cutting me
listen,
off?
racism in the WNBA, man. Cause Will gotta go. Will got a
BJ, give
graduation.
us the
Will
mic.
I'm
Will
crying.
got a graduation tomorrow. Through all the oppression on a white man, Will got 2 graduations tomorrow to do.
There he
Okay?
goes again. He got that mic. He got that loud megaphone on him.
Nail us the
That mic.
microphone, boss.
Will got 2 graduations tomorrow to orchestrate. Racism in the WNBA, man. Is Angel Reese being picked on? What's going on? Is Caitlin Clark? What is it?
I don't know what's going on. 1 week they're saying Caitlin Clark is being picked on. 1 week is Angel Reese. I don't know who's being picked on.
Right.
To be honest, I think they pitted their two perfect personalities to pit each other against.
It
For
is. I agree.
that's really what it is.
That's a fact.
I don't think it's necessarily entirely just about. I do think that there is some racial things happening, but I definitely think that the NBA painted that in a perfect way because they knew that they had a good story. They both have good personalities to be villains in certain eyes, and I think it promotes the agenda of this racial thing that we're seeing happening in the NBA for sure.
Adversity sells tickets.
Absolutely.
I agree with you. First time I agree with you, Nadia.
Oh shit, we definitely
You
gotta go
agree with
now.
me earlier,
We
fool.
gotta go now.
You agree with me earlier, fool. Don't even
Oh,
lie.
oh no,
Okay.
it's 3-2 right now. We getting.
Yeah, nah, I agree. It seemed like they are the perfect 2 to put against each other. It
Cause
seemed like it
Paige,
just fell into place and they ran
Wait,
with it. They like, oh, them 2 right there.
this
From
is
college though,
what
even from
happened.
college.
yeah.
Adversity sells tickets. If you notice on Facebook, they're always showing these girls fighting in the street. They get 1 million views.
But I'm
Anytime it's us versus them or this and that, the controversy and 2 good players, it sells tickets. That's what people want to see.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think because they're not like not to even hate, but I don't even they're better players in the WNBA for
it,
sure.
it's
But
like
they
they
don't
don't even we
sell.
don't who
They
are
don't
they?
sell.
Look, I just seen another girl where they said she had like 30 or 40 on Caitlin Clark. The black girl, she like 6'2" or something. Or
Aja,
whatever. I was like, damn, I never even
Aja,
knew her.
something. I forget her name.
Right. They never pushed it into this Angel Reese thing.
Angel
Remember,
Wilson, she's like the MVP or something, right? She won the joint
Two-time MVP,
yeah,
two-time champion.
2-time champion. They don't even talk about
Best
her
player
at
in the
all.
league, hands down.
They don't even talk about her.
She ain't got no
because
controversy
it's
with
not
her. She
about a
just kick ass and
controversy.
win.
Her
This what
stats is
if I
not
was
about a controversy.
if I was Angel Reese's cousin, brother, or something. This what I would. This is my advice for her. She got to get that hate out her heart. She got some hate.
Oh my goodness.
She got some hate.
Why you say that? You think so?
Yo, bro.
Good
You
night.
know why I say that? Because when the girl choke slammed her on the floor, she ain't
had
get
no
up and
reaction.
react to that girl like that.
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman and them niggas that really was like that, They didn't have no picks and chooses.
Yeah.
She picking and choosing. I could look at somebody and tell when they picking and choosing. She is. And just because she black, I'm not gonna act like I don't see what's going on. My advice to her will be, yo, man, don't pay her no mind. You need to focus on your game, because you know what? She has the worst shooting percentage in the fucking league.
Yeah.
She has the worst shooting percentage in the league, bro. Her stats are horrible. She need to focus on her game. Fuck even talking about Caitlyn. Forget her. Get back to doing what you do. Your team trash. You going 5 for 20 something. Get back to doing what you do.
Bro, she ain't asked nobody to shove them cameras in her face, bro. She living her life.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but it's still it's things she said also. It's things she said also that put her. Let's not make her the victim, because last year she said she's the villain.
Yeah,
she said that. I'm the villain. I'm gonna be the bad guy. But when you play the villain and you want to be the bad guy, you don't turn that off.
Yeah, you gotta embrace it.
You gotta embrace that and continue to be the bad guy. And all I'm saying is, as the bad guy is the villain, stop crying about Caitlyn and racism, because whoever was making monkey noises that they never even found, and work on your game. Focus on you being better. That's what's wrong with black people. They focus on what white people won't let them do. That's what's wrong with black people. They focus on they too focused on what white people won't let them do, instead of focusing on themselves to do what they want to do. Ever since I've been outside, I've been doing what I wanted to do.
I don't think she give a fuck about basketball, bro. She just said the WNBA don't even pay her rent.
Exactly.
So her rent is more than her WNBA salary. She don't give a fuck about basketball.
Wait,
that's just the unfortunate reality of women's sports.
Can I read something that I did some research on? Psychological and emotional impact and harm when it comes to
research, y'all. Shit.
According to the research, black oppression can lead to internalized racism. Whereas individuals like DJ, they internalize negative stereotypes, beliefs about themselves or their people, while he say, my people ain't shit, and it's always about my people, they the ones that got the anger and all of this, impacting the self-esteem of the people and mental health. That's why you got these niggas out here in the street. Fuck these niggas. Niggas ain't shit, because they've internalized that racism that they've had to endure. It's a psychological effect that's embedded deeply in the oppression of black people, because that's how they bred us to be, and that's the truth.
Who bred you to be that way?
The whole system.
Yeah, I don't. Ain't no system breed me. I don't know where they bred you at, Kurt. Ain't no system breed me.
The whole system that makes you say, my people ain't shit.
It ain't no system. It's the behavior of certain people of my race.
BJ, but think about their underlying.
It's the behavior of certain people of my race. Yes, that's a fact.
BJ, but that's like a little bit of a surface level analysis in this context, because I feel like what stands out most to me is that what Will was saying in women's sports. If I was a little bit talented at basketball, the unfortunate reality of women's sports is that being good at any sport is just a segue into building a brand and making real money. The sport isn't what's going to give you money. So whether she got to be the villain to make money, whether she got to be angry to make money, she getting sponsors, she getting ads, she doing whatever, she's getting money. She's getting money more than the people that got higher shooting percentages than her. So you can't treat her like she's like Steph Curry or some shit. She could be Steph Curry and she's still not gonna make Steph Curry money. What she's doing is like, I don't see how you can make this about a black issue, because to me it's like it's the female male division that explains these differences to me way more than like, oh, black or white or whatever. She's trying to build a brand and she's doing a really good job at it, because she's the only girl I see on ads. She's the only basketball player whose name I know. I found out about Caitlyn like 2 years after I knew about Angel Reese, when Angel Reese her stats wasn't even that incredible. So she's doing what she's doing to get what she wants to get, and I think she's doing a great job at it.
That's fine. That's fine. I think I wasn't even talking. I'm talking about basketball. She could get money. I never said nothing about her money. She get money, and I'm not mad at her getting money. I want her to be a champion also and get money. I was just talking about basketball. I wasn't talking about nothing else. I ain't say, you know what I mean? Just talking about basketball.
Part of building a brand is being talked about on the news, being on the Shade Room, but that's part of building a brand. So maybe you got to be the villain to get on the Shade Room.
Okay, I guess. Okay.
Maybe you got to be angry to get on the Shade Room. I don't know.
Okay, or she could just be cute and be a great basketball player.
So is it racism in the WNBA, or is we just trying to sell tickets?
It's racism everywhere.
Yes.
It's racism everywhere.
I agree.
From the WNBA or from
everywhere.
Caitlin Clark fans?
Everywhere.
The referees racist against
the WNBA, the NBA, the referees. We are human beings. It's racism everywhere.
So racism is profitable.
Yes.
Yeah, hell yeah.
The Indiana Fever are basically like the Boston Celtics, pretty much, of the league. It is notorious that their fans are critically racist. I do believe that to be true. And also too, if you look at Caitlin Clark's history as far as like retweeting stuff or her people that she's associated to or tied to with her boyfriend, they have made countless racist remarks. I do think that girl has some stigmatism of racism within her. However, I think that she does a really good job of making it seem that she is, just playing the game. She says that countlessly in almost any interview, that everything she does has nothing to do with race and has everything to do with the game. But there is, I think, often at times more than just playing the game. She's just really good at articulating herself. I 100% think so.
And I just to respond to Kurt, I don't know where you was trying to go with that comment of me saying what I say about my people. I don't get it, but I'm gonna
criticize you for being a winner. He want everybody to get participation trophies.
Oh, he want everybody to be a victim.
Yeah.
Oh, black men, especially. I'm a man at the end of the day, bro. I don't cry about shit. I ain't never been a victim, whether I lost at it or whatever, win or lose. I don't give a fuck. I get up and get it. And I preach that to my kids, to my sons. I preach that to my son. I preach that to everybody. I'm not going to preach that victim shit. Oh, the system. I don't even talk about the system to him. Ain't no system. Do whatever you want to do. If I wanted to come home and fly planes and be a pilot, I would have went to aviation school and did that shit. Anything I ever wanted to do in life, I could have done. Maybe I'm just lucky.
Well,
but I don't know that verbiage you using and that talk you talking. I don't know that. The system, you said a system bred you. Ain't no system breed me.
You got those opportunities because of the forerunners that made a way where you were included in that you can do that.
What are you talking about?
Previous to the 1860s, you would have never been given an opportunity to drive a truck or own a trucking company.
We talking about now, man. We talking about now. You said what I'm saying now. We talking about now. We don't even got to go back to the 1860s. We talking about now.
I'm just saying, see, because you have not experienced the life of how what we have to go through in order to give you the right to be able to speak the way that you speak. Because
what you talking about, Kurt? What you went through?
I'm talking about everything that you're talking about. You saying, I'll do this and I'll do that. Back in the days when you could not do that,
why would I even be focused on that?
Because you keep bringing up before 1860, we tried.
Okay, so for me the reason why I keep bringing that up, and you're so mad about me saying the people that you're trying to talk about right now. You're bringing up right now, but I'm putting them on a pedestal. You and Nadia bringing them back down. I put them on the pedestal up here. I've been putting them on the pedestal the whole time up here. Now all of a sudden you want to go back to these same people you've been shitting on and said ain't do nothing and ain't thrive. You just said them people ain't thrive. Why are you talking about them now?
What I'm saying, see, you refuse to accept what somebody else's opinion is, but you want somebody to accept yours. What I'm saying
you don't gotta accept my opinion. I'm trying to see what you're saying about me. What's your point of what you were saying about me saying about my people?
But I didn't say my point, but you just obviously you don't have your headphones on. I think they might have muted your headphones. But what I'm saying is this. the opportunities that you say exist where you can get out or tell your son to get out and do those things, there were obstacles in the way back then which did not allow those people to thrive back then.
What
That's
are you
not
talk? Why you talk? You just said the way I be talking about black people, the way I be saying black people ain't shit, this, that, and third. You was going off of that. Why you keep going back to the people back then? I put them on the pedestal up here. The people back there then are up here. So why you even talking about them? I'm talking about now. I'm talking about now. There's no excuse for black men. I ain't gonna talk on black women. There's no excuse for black men. And any black man out here talking that weak shit, I can't fuck with at all.
You keep repeating the same thing, DJ. All I'm saying is you keep referencing, well, before 1860, we were thriving. And if I want to get out there and do this, so I'll do that. But you forget about the forerunners that came before you that helped you get that right to be able to make that statement.
You right, Kurt. What you saying, Nadia?
Also, I was gonna say this. I just believe in the fact of the matter that I give 100% accolades to my ancestors. I know that they went through hard things, and me saying that they weren't thriving isn't me shitting on them, because I know that they're hardworking. They were resilient. They were just amazing people. At the same time, I can say that and also say that their living conditions and their ability to fulfill the dreams that they probably had weren't easy, or probably weren't really capable. They weren't capable of doing because of the conditions that they were under, not because they weren't good people, or not because they didn't deserve it, or they're not hardworking. That is not what I'm saying at all. But also, too, to the point of you're saying it, I think ultimately we are making a lot of strides in our community nowadays. It's just not in a way that you find, like
what?
Like, I think honestly, truly, having more black men, there's more educated black men than there were
That's her
than there were
favorite
before.
word.
There's more than 3 million
That's her favorite
black-owned
word. It's
businesses
all
in
about.
America.
Right. There's more businesses. We have more wealth.
So what we complaining about then? Why we still complaining?
Because the thing that you keep going over is because
No, not me.
no,
I'm not
no,
complaining.
I will say you, because you called me out 2 seconds ago. So let me say
Okay.
this. I think that your issue specifically is because racism is not overt, that it doesn't affect or impact us. It is still a system implied that is affecting us every day. It's just not overt racism, it's covert racism. So you're still lacking in certain ways, or we still not getting the same opportunities as everybody else. It's just because we're not getting hung on trees every day that we're not disparaged against. We are. We just aren't disparaged against in the same exact ways as we were 50 years ago, 60 years ago.
Well, I just said racism is everywhere, right?
Right.
Everywhere.
But you don't acknowledge the system. That is the problem.
Why you want me to acknowledge the system?
Because
If the KKK lived across the street, I wouldn't acknowledge that nigga neither.
It's because the issues that you bring up, like when you're talking about our population density not growing, that has to do with systemic issues. But if you're not even gonna look,
abortion.
No, that's not a systemic issue, sir. A systemic issue is incarceration or the injustice system that we have.
Okay, weak ass black men.
Huh?
Yeah, weak ass black men that don't take care of their kids.
There's innocent black men in jail right now.
Okay, man. Look, listen. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. Will gotta go. But the black man, black people don't do nothing wrong. Black people don't do nothing wrong.
We do wrong.
We just at the bottom of the barrel. It's not our fault. It's the system fault. It's the white man fault. I got it.
No. But we'll go. We'll go with that.
I got it.
We'll go with
The proof that abortion isn't the cause, that there's greater systemic issues at play, is the fact that even though black women have the highest percentage of abortions, they still have the second highest percentage of fertility. It's not like they're not breeding. They're just having more, they're conceiving more, but that doesn't mean they're not breeding more. There's a lot of black babies being born, more than white babies. One black woman is creating more babies than one white woman. And I don't know why that's not enough proof to show you that it's not abortion that's killing the babies. It's the fact that there's so much procreation happening. That's what causes that discrepancy. Compare the rates of abortion with the rates of fertility.
It's not supposed to be like that if there weren't systemic issues that was causing that divide.
And you know what's so funny about this too is you're promoting what will be the downfall. Because ultimately, if there is no way for people to get abortions, that is the goal. They're hoping that white women and more white people populate so that they can keep staying in power. That is the goal. And by not
Well,
having an
North said
option
black
saying,
women populate more, are having more babies than white women.
right, they are. Wait,
So they won't beat us in population then.
they already beat us in population density.
Of course, we only
But that's what
13%
I'm
of the
saying.
population. Of course,
If they do start having and populating more than us, and we're staying stagnant, then we defeated the whole purpose of what we were trying to do to begin with. So I don't see why you defend that so much when that's really not the problem at all.
because I'm just not with killing babies. That's why.
I don't care.
I don't care about. I don't care about education. I don't care about your standards of life. Any of y'all. I don't care about y'all standards. I don't care about y'all education. I don't care about none of that. All I care about is these babies. That's it. That's it.
You should care about these children too and these men too, because these babies can turn into children and men.
Yeah, weak ass men that keep blaming everybody but themselves. Weak ass black men that keep blaming everybody and everything but themselves. That's a fact. I'm sorry, Nadia. I never had a system that did anything to me. I'm sorry. I don't know what Kurt talking about. He was bred, the system bred him. I'm sorry. I wasn't the kid that was forced to be in the streets by the system. I'm sorry. I chose to be in the streets. I'm sorry. I chose to go to jail. I'm sorry. The white man didn't come and pick me to go to jail. I don't know that. So I'm sorry, Kurt. If the system and the white man came to your house and picked you to go to jail and fucked your life up, I'm sorry, bro. I didn't know that was possible. I didn't go through that.
BJ, don't you think the system may have given you those aspirations you had when you were a kid that led you to want to lead that lifestyle?
No.
Because a lot of white kids don't even see that lifestyle, and it's not what they grow up aspiring to be.
No. I had mentors. That I was with for 2-3 years that showed me a whole nother way of life. No, it was my choice.
But did it do any good? Did it do any good? Because BJ still was outside in the street.
Because BJ wanted to do what BJ did. I made my own choices. Y'all pro-choice. Don't take my choice from me. Y'all pro-choice, right? Don't take my choice from me. I chose to do what I wanted to do. That's it.
But you choose to support somebody that's willing to take somebody else's choice.
And guess what? I'm so ill with it. When I was in prison, I chose not to do that no more. I chose to do the right thing and become a civilian and do it the right way because my son kept asking me where I was at. That's how ill I am with it. Ain't no white man tell me, no, you can't do that. You got to go back to jail. You got to keep doing what you're doing. Nah, you can't do that. And I had hurdles and obstacles also. Like Will have hurdles and obstacles right now with his business. And he's going to jump over the motherfuckers. I don't know about this system you talking about. I don't know about it. I was fortunate enough not to have to go through it like our ancestors did. Yeah, I don't know that system you talking about. And I wouldn't promote that to any black man or these black young boys neither. They can do whatever they want to do. All I promote is you can be whatever you want to be. I remember when that was a commercial. You can be whatever you want to be. These black boys can be and do whatever they want to do. When they put their mind to be the greatest NBA player, to be Michael Jordan, guess what? They end up going to the NBA. When they put their mind to playing football and being the best at that, they go to the NFL. It's other things they could put their mind to. I just seen a thing where they said they need 500,000 electricians by 2026. Mm-hmm. Tell these black boys to be electricians. But yeah, man, we out.
They ain't gonna get hired because the DEA been taken away.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all for rocking out with us. Y'all been phenomenal in the chats. Y'all even had y'all own little thing going on over there.
We did?
I wasn't even able to keep up. The chat was popping. We definitely love that energy. We need that energy. We'll definitely let y'all know when we're gonna be
Somebody
back.
asking, can he call in? Can he?
Yeah, I told him we was about to head out. I put the number in the chat, so text it so we can get you on. You can be a special guest that week. We'll kick Kurt out because
next show.
He pissing me off anyway.
Who's L?
I don't know. There's a
Hey, Will,
got a new fan.
you need to learn how to moderate and mute that dude's mic.
We got you next time. Got you next time.
BJ pay the bills over here. BJ pay the bills for the show, bro. His mic louder than mine.
Give me your cash app, Will. if Kurt's out, I'm out.
Appreciate you, Josh.
Good looking, Josh. Lady, y'all. Bye, Noah.
All right, good night, y'all.
All right, Kurt, peace.
Enjoy your graduations.